A big day. We have so many things to cover today, and only a short time to do it in. Here we go.
Granger, for the ones who get it done. On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, welcome to the program. It is Monday morning, July 31st, 2023. Man, do we have a lot to cover on the program today. So Devon Archer, we're going to get into Devon Archer in a lot of detail as the show goes on. Devon Archer is Hunter's old friend and business partner, set to testify today in front of Comer's committee, and then shocker, over the weekend, the Biden administration tried to put in prison over the weekend the star witness today. Never seen such craziness. We're going to get to that in just a few minutes, but there's something big going on top of this. So many big stories. It's hard. We got so many balls in the air to juggle. But there's a major update with the chef death at the Obamas. Okay. Now I'm going to throw this out to you, and you all can let me know your thoughts on this at 1-888-GO-CANE-1. So we all know that the Obama chef drowned, right? And we were talking about it last week. Well, Barack Obama showed up on the golf course with some very unusual, it's early, guys. I'm a little behind on my coffee, by the way. Barack Obama showed up on the golf course with some very unusual injuries. He's on the golf course, and he had, well, let me just, this is just insane. Barack Obama is on the golf course with 2 injuries. He has bandages, 3 of them on his fingers of his left hand. Now, that's injury number 1, and there's a second one. Isn't Barack Obama left-handed? I'm pretty sure Barack Obama is left-handed. Is he? So he has 3 bandages on his fingers on his left hand and a black eye on his left eye. Now, I'm not suggesting that there's any foul play with Obama, but I'm here to tell you this. If someone turned up dead at your house or my house, and it was a very unusual death, and then a couple of days later, I'm sporting a black eye, and I've got the hand that I would use to punch someone with or something bandaged up, they'd be looking at you. You'd be a person of interest. You would be a suspect. I can't tell you how many times I've watched an interrogation video on ID with the police, and they're investigating a homicide. The person they're talking to seems innocent enough, and then all of a sudden they notice that they've got bruises and cuts on their body. Next thing you know, they're sentenced to prison. Barack Obama is not an athletic guy. He's not a fix-it man. What would Barack Obama be doing that results in a black eye and having his left hand, and he is left-handed. I'm pretty positive he's left-handed. Bill Clinton's left-handed too. He has his punching hand bandaged up with 3 bandages, and he's got a black eye. Is that not suspicious to you all? I'd like to hear your thoughts on this at 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-GO-CANE-1. That's 888-465-2631. I have a story here in Trending Politics. Headline, Barack Obama emerges with black eye, bandaged hand after the death of his personal chef. The mystery of the death of Tafari Campbell Barack Obama's friend and personal chef continues to deepen as the former president showed up to golf Friday at the members-only Vineyards Club with a black eye and sporting a bandaged hand. Barack Obama hit the links while former First Lady Michelle Obama played tennis elsewhere on the property. The photos clearly show a bruised or black eye under Barack's left eye, as well as a bandaged hand. It's known that the former president has wrapped his hand to play golf before, but this is not wrapping the hand to play golf. This are 3 bandages around 2 different fingers. The photos of the former president have fueled speculation about his whereabouts at the time of Campbell's death. Democrats keep telling me that Obama has bandaged his hand to golf before. Okay, what about the black eye? They write here. That's a good question. Just days after his personal chef and friend died in a very mysterious paddleboarding accident, Barack Obama appears to have injured fingers and a black eye. We still don't know who the other person was, and Obama loves paddleboarding. Yes, that is true. I think we can all guess what happened at this point is some of the speculation on the Twitter. After initial reports indicated that Barack Obama was not on his estate at the time of his death, reports have now clarified that Obama was indeed on Martha's Vineyard at the time of the chef's death. The police have fueled the speculation by obscuring the reason for the 9/11 call, changing the location of the call, refusing to identify a second paddleboarder, and the alleged female who made the 9/11 call. Tafari was age 45, met with the accident while paddleboarding last Sunday night. The person who was paddleboarding with the Obama's personal chef when he drowned near the Martha Vineyard estate has tried desperately, they did try desperately to save him, according to police reports. The unidentified fellow paddleboarder tried to swim to Tafari Campbell but did not reach him in time, says the state police. The person who saw Campbell losing his balance and falling into the water swam to shore, alerted someone, then called 911. I just got to tell you something here. Man works in your house, friends with, years, dies mysteriously under unusual circumstances. You turn up with a black eye and a bandaged hand. Something's off with that. What would Obama be doing that gives him a black eye and cuts up his hand? Do you think Obama does any type of physical labor? You know, when the first version of this story, when I first heard about this, I saw the bandaged hand, but not the black eye. You know, you put the two of them together, and you're talking about a guy who does nothing physical. This guy does no physical labor. He's not athletic. Golf does not count. Guys like Obama, they like golf because cell phones aren't allowed on golf courses, and it's a way for a lot of guys to get away from their wives on the golf course. That's why cell phones are banned on golf courses, so that the wives can't track them. You know? So I just think something's fishy here. All right, we'll take our first break. After the break, I'll get into Devon Archer, but I do want to hear your thoughts. What could Obama have been doing that resulted in a bandaged hand, 3 bandages, and the black eye the week that the chef died? Our number 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631. I know a lot of people were speculating on this as soon as it happened. And I said, no, let's just see what happens. And now all of a sudden, we see Obama bruised, black eye, cuts on his body, on his dominant hand, his left hand. These are very legitimate questions. All right. 1-888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-CANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Hi, this is Maureen.
All right. I mean, what are you guys thinking here? I mean, what could Obama have been doing that resulted in a black eye and the cut fingers? If he was the second paddleboarder, you can get a black eye jumping off that board. Tell me what you guys think. He was paddleboarding. It's very suspicious. If this were us, believe me, they'd be all over it. Yeah, something's up with that. It's just not right. There's something off with that.
They're here 7 days a week for all your family's natural health needs. So stop by Nutrition World at the northeast corner of PJ Boulevard.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's just not. There's just something very, very, very strange going on here, guys. If Obama was somebody who was often turning up all bruised and everything because he's so athletic, that would be one thing. Well, that's the question. Was he there? Was he there? Was he the other paddleboarder? And it's very, you can blacken your eye hitting it on the board in a panicked emergency. No, there's something very odd and suspicious about this. In my opinion, you guys call me on the air. Let me know your thoughts. The number is 1-888-465-2631. Do you think Obama was there? Did he get the black guy from jumping off the board to swim to shore? What do you think? 1-888-465-2631. I'd love to hear what you guys think on the air on that. I'm going to get into Devon Archer after the break, but this is... Anybody else, the press would be all over this. I like trending politics, but I should be reading about this in more mainstream outlets. The very fact that they're not reporting on this gives credibility. By the way, those of you that are members, check out the new emojis. My wife added some new emojis, and if you notice, the emojis are like supersized now. No, something's up here. I'm sorry. He had 2 bandages on one finger and 1 bandage on his second finger. Yeah. Obama is not a guy that does anything physical. Ever. All right, here we go, guys.
95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right, welcome everyone. 18 minutes after the hour, I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Remember when Bill Clinton turned up, all cut up at a press conference when he was president? And Hillary had thrown, was it a lamp or an ashtray she threw at Bill Clinton? It was during the Lewinsky affair. Remember that? Oh, man. Okay, well, this mystery about Obama certainly deepens. Now, over the weekend, my daughter received her 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper my wife and I got for her. Well, got for her, kind of got for me. My daughter has a sleeper sofa, one of those beds inside the couch. And I'm going to visit her soon. And the grandparents are going to visit her soon at her house. And if any of you have ever slept on one of those beds inside of a couch, forget about it. I mean, the mattresses are ridiculous. You'd be better off just putting a comforter on top of those metal bars and springs underneath. They're awful. So we ordered my daughter the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper for her sleeper sofa so that I can sleep when I'm out there. And it arrived over the weekend. And we got her the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper 2.0, which has cooling technology to perfectly regulate your body temperature. And we also got her the special limited edition 20th anniversary MyPillows as well. The 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper 2.0 is 40% off and free shipping with our promo code KANE at checkout, KANE. It comes in every mattress size, and we were able to get one that fits perfectly on her sleeper sofa. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879, 1-800-716-4879, promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. All right, You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Richie. Good morning.
Hey, Richie.
I'm going to give you my opinion. This is just speculation on my part. His personal chef was more than his personal chef. This guy was gay. And I believe that Obama's bisexual. I've always believed that. And I think something happened between his gay chef and him, and they're covering this up big. Because they're never going to disclose something like this to the public. But this chef was gay.
Why do you say that? Why do you say he was gay?
Go on. Just go on to Tafari Campbell and his identity as a gay man.
He's got a kid. I thought.
It doesn't matter, Brian. I know somebody that got married to it.
But you know what? I don't understand. Okay, if just because you're paddleboarding with someone doesn't mean you're gay, or doesn't mean you're in a relationship.
I think that could have been a whole setup of how he passed away.
Really?
Autopsy? Was there an autopsy? No.
Yeah.
This is nothing. I mean, you could take a dead body and throw him in a creek, and as long as there's no autopsy, he drowned.
Well, that's true. That's true. We got to find out if there's water in the lungs. You know, when Obama showed up with the black eye and the bandages on the hand. Wow. I mean, what would I have no memory of Obama ever being bruised up before. And in my life, everything I've been through. Okay, I've never had a black eye. Black eyes are very deliberate and very rare.
Yeah, I know. Unless you fall on it, and what are the chances of you taking a fall like that and falling on?
I've fallen many times, and I've never had a black eye from it.
No, but that's my opinion. It is. I might be way off base, but this chef identified as a gay.
Well, I'll tell you, when the chef first turned up dead, people were all suspicious and saying things, and I was waiting. And now when we see Obama with the black eye and the 3 bandages on his dominant hand, his left hand, he was in a fight. There's no doubt. Barack Obama was in some type of physical conflict with someone. Yeah.
Guy. Hey, what you got to do is Google this chef and see what I'm talking about.
All right.
Regardless of that, here's the deal on this other thing. Can I sit back? Kevin?
Yeah, Devon Archer? Absolutely.
Okay, we are living, I mean, with President Trump. I watched the CBS News after the golf tournament yesterday. It was on TV. First thing they do is they show President Trump's speech on, I am being indicted because they are indicting you. He's talking about the people, the MAGA people. And the CBS cuts in and says, that is a total lie. Not one thing on Biden whatsoever. Complete blackout of the news. We are living under communism here. We are living under a totally corrupt government. There's good and evil.
Well, we're being run by gangsters. I mean, over the weekend, this is insane. So today, Devon Archer, I'm going to get into the details of Devon Archer in a bit, but so Devon Archer is going to testify in front of Comer's committee, not on TV today, by the way. It's behind closed doors. They should change that after what happened. And then on Saturday, the Biden regime tried to put him in prison over the weekend. They went to a federal judge over the weekend and tried to get him locked up in a prison for these other crimes, so that he couldn't testify today.
Intimidate him, shut him up, just like they tried to get over on the judge.
Yeah, and and federal custody is not all that safe. Look at Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, this whole thing is right out in the open, and they're not hiding it.
Well, that's what's frightening. All these things that they're doing right out in the open. This Devon Archer thing, and Obama with the black eye and the hand. They're not even trying to be covert now. They're totally fearless.
And they're listening because they have the press behind them, and the press is just as bad as they are. This is really sick here. I mean, you don't have one charge on this president. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It is ridiculous.
Yep.
And I don't know how many corrupt people there are in Washington, D.C., but $50 million they're talking about in offshore accounts. Now, if you tell me that a man in the White House, as a vice president or whatever, $50 million offshore money.
Yeah.
I'm going to find it.
Yeah, and it's not like he has. It's not like he has a golf resort in Scotland and play. Like President Trump. Why would he have any money offshore? Any?
That every Democrat at every hearing takes whistleblowers and tries to destroy them, tries to protect this guy at all costs. Why is it every Democrat, every one of them? Why?
Absolutely.
The country doesn't count. The Democratic Party regime. I call it a regime. They are commies.
Well, this may be the only call you've made that I can't disagree with a single syllable of any comment you've made today, Richie. You're spot on the money on everything. All right, take care. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, it's Cynthia from Mark.
Hey, Cynthia.
How are you? I just wanted to give a little background. So, since Tucker left Fox, his first episode, or maybe it was a second, he was alleging, hinting, whatever you want to call it, that Obama was gay and that nobody vetted him. Then Jason Whitlock on The Blaze did a show, and he alleged the same thing, and he managed to put pictures up of two women, and the girls, Obama's children, next to those women, saying, why didn't you kind of get rid of these women because they look exactly like your daughters, insinuating that, is a man. Okay. And then go back.
Be careful with that. Remember what happened to Joan Rivers. She made that accusation, and then she was, never, that was it for Joan Rivers. You think I'm kidding? It's true. It's true.
No, I know. So anyway, and then Tucker says something else. So my feeling on this is, they know they're going to bring it out. And remember Trump, when a Sheriff Arpaio went to Hawaii to
That's right.
So I called a state senator in Hawaii, and because I knew him, and he did not like Obama. He was the only Republican in the Honolulu area. And I asked him, what's happening there? Is this true? And he said, absolutely. And he gave me the woman's name, who was a friend of his, who was a reporter, and I talked to her, and Sheriff Arpaio was there, and he was investigating the birth certificate.
Mm-hmm.
And Trump mentioned it. Now, it's kind of funny that Obama's brother is all over Twitter, constantly putting the birth certificate, constantly calling Michelle, are you Michael? So something fishy is going on. I don't know what it is.
Well, I know this. Barack Obama doesn't do anything physical in his entire life, and to have both a black eye and his dominant hand be cut up and wearing bandages, something happened. I mean, come on. This is not speculation. He was involved in some type of physical struggle.
Oh well, Brian, just another conspiracy.
Nothing to see here. Move along. Hey, look, I got to run for our break, but good info. Thanks for the call. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again.
No, I mean, I've been in fights and assaulted and fallen. I've done everything that could happen. I've never had a black eye. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, this is an official Trump thing. Got this from President Trump's store. Well, my wife did and daughter. I've got two. I've got this one, then I've got a blue one. Don't forget, everyone, like the video, and if you're new to my channel, subscribe. The question is, who do you think gave Obama the black eye? Was it the chef, the paddleboard, or Michelle? Who do you think gave him the black eye? Any ideas? Oh, let me see. I'll show you the picture. Hold on.
Monster Multi-Flight Tournament, August 3rd through the 6th.
See, that's the black guy.
Expanded casino table game area with your
See?
favorite Ultimate Texas Hold'em
You
and
see the black guy
with just a $5 minimum. Your entertainment
on the golf course.
pbkennelclub.com. If you're suffering from burning, tingling, or numb feet, you need to pay special attention. As we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Darren Lestovsky, DC, owner of Pivotal.
And then here's the bandages on the hand. Oh, that's the black guy still there. Okay. That's the bandages on the hand.
The major symptoms are numbness, tingling, burning, muscle cramps, coldness in hands
Yeah.
and problems with balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It is treatable, and we have seen great results.
Call 561-287-3255 today. The first 25 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Space is limited. Call 561-287.
I know, it's crazy. It's crazy. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe, guys. Now, golf blisters, the black guy. Be right back, guys. I gotta turn the air down. It's pretty hot in here. I might have to. The air conditioner is not working too well here in the radio station. It's really hot. It's like 90 degrees in here.
From Will for you, it goes without saying that the summer is here, and so is the
Now.
summer sizzler sale here at Will for you. Select a stylish care stand carpet, a luxury waterproof vinyl or laminate, or a sturdy engineered wood, and cash in our deep summer discounts. It's our tradition to support our year-round residents with lots of great bargains on America's premier flooring brand, Care.
Well, if,
Summertime is busy with pools, beach, barbecues, and outdoor sports. So if your family is anything like mine, pool,
oh yeah.
toys, sand, all end up in the house. So you need a floor that will perform.
You don't get a black eye. I mean, come on, guys. How many guys in this chat have been in fights with people and not gotten a black eye? I've never had a black eye.
Performance carpets on sale at 20% off. So for best service, prompt installation, and by far the best sales, visit Will For You in Jupiter and A1A and Stewart on Federal Highway and just south of Walmart and willfloor.com.
A sniffle here and a sneeze there. Your first thought is what? Uh-oh, I'm coming down with something. Did you ever think you might not be
Yeah, the air's turned down, but it's not cold. It is so hot in here.
any lab test now of Coral Springs or any lab test now of Boca? Any lab test now of Coral Springs is located at
All right, we're coming back after this.
University Drive on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood by the Coral Square Mall. Give them a call, 954-906.
If he was trying to save him, why would they cover that up? I mean, you know, that would make him a hero. There's no reason to cover that up.
South of Palmetto and north of Hillsborough. Call them at 561-237-50.
I got in fights though, growing up too. Never a black eye. Maybe I'm better at blocking or hiding my face, you know.
Environmental and food allergies. No appointment is necessary. But make sure you mention you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show.
Celebrating 46 years on the air.
All right, welcome back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. I'm going to move into Devon Archer, but you are very welcome to call in about the mystery of Obama's injuries. If you're just tuning in, last week, the Obama chef died by drowning, so goes the story, in a paddle boarding accident. Now we see Obama on Friday on the golf course with his dominant hand, the hand he would use to punch with, his left hand, he's left-handed, bandaged up with 3 bandages, and his left eye is black. He's got a black eye. So he was obviously in some type of physical struggle with someone. Who do you think gave him the black eye? Was it the chef? Was it Michelle? Something's going on here. 1-888-GO-KANE-1. Your thoughts, your theories, your analysis, certainly welcome. Okay, so now Devon Archer, I'm going to get into the Devon Archer story now and get into some detail about Devon Archer. But Devon Archer is testifying behind a closed-door hearing today to Comer's committee. Close friend and business associate who's got the goods on the Biden crime family. And over the weekend, the Biden regime went to a federal judge on Saturday. The government doesn't even work on Saturday. Justice Department, they're closed on Saturday. The courts are closed on Saturday. But the Saturday before Devon Archer is going to testify in front of Comer's committee, they go to a federal judge on Saturday and try to get Devon Archer put in prison over the weekend so he can't testify today. Come on, that's not suspicious? Now, I'm going to go through a little bit of the background of Devon Archer here, because I know everyone knows the name, but maybe you don't know who he is, and they keep telling you he's done some crimes and things, which is true, but let's find out who he is a little bit, and then we'll get into the details of him. Devon Archer is Hunter's longtime friend and business associate. He's testifying today, and he's expected to share intimate details about foreign ventures he worked on and the level at which Biden was involved. Archer is set to appear before the House Oversight Committee today. He's preparing to tell lawmakers that President Biden met with dozens of Hunter's business associates while he was vice president. Archer is expected to detail the meetings he witnessed that both Bidens attended, either in person or via telephone. Archer will testify that Hunter would specifically introduce his father to foreign business partners or prospective investors. Archer's intimate knowledge of the business arrangement come after years of working closely with Hunter, including on the board of Burisma. So he's a Burisma board member too. Archer co-founded the Rosemont Seneca along with Hunter and John Kerry's stepson. And it goes on. Now, he did do some crimes. He was forced to resign from his company after a federal investigation uncovered some things he was doing. In February of 2022, Archer was sentenced to a year and a day in prison for defrauding a Native American tribe entity and various investment advisory clients of tens of millions of dollars in connection with bonds by the tribes. Okay, yeah, so he's got some financial crimes, but most whistleblowers, most guys that testify against criminals are criminals themselves. They're doing crime. That's why they're on the inside to find information that leads to the conviction of other criminals. So it would be unusual to have someone like this not be a criminal. So that's Archer, and his crimes are minor white-collar crimes that he's being sent away for. But this testimony today should be on television, not behind closed doors, especially after the Biden administration tried to send him to prison over the weekend to stop him from testifying today. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm Rod. I'm calling from Coconut Creek.
Hey, what's up, Coconut Creek?
Hey, listen, there was just a blip in the news about that guy that was arrested for the FXF or FX.
Bankman? You're talking about Bankman-Fried, the FTX crypto guy?
Yeah, all charges were dropped against him.
Mm-hmm. Well, what's going on with that Bankman-Fried is he was involved in a money laundering operation between the Democrats, Biden, and Zelensky.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. That's just more.
I don't know if they've dropped. I don't think they've dropped all the charges, but they've dropped some big, heavy ones. I don't think he's dropped everything.
Read it wrong.
Yeah.
That on our news. I read it in the Daily Mail.
Yeah.
Which covers U.S. update.
Yeah, but they dropped a lot of charges.
Interesting times we're living in.
It's scary.
In the tip of the iceberg.
Oh, yeah.
Scary as hell.
Yeah. Yeah, all right, take care. You know, see, what happened with Bankman-Fried from FTX, the crypto guy, is Zelensky bought $100 million of the FTX crypto. Now, keep in mind, he bought it with $100 million of money that we gave him because his company is on the verge of collapse, okay? So while Ukraine is being invaded by a major power, and they're broke, and we're pouring money there, Zelensky took $100 million of Ukraine's money and bought into FTX crypto. That's very sketch on the face of it. And then after Zelensky did that, Bankman-Fried donated, it was either $32 or $33 million to the DNC's various midterm campaign efforts and funded Nancy Pelosi's PAC as well as Fetterman's campaign and many others. So they're laundering. This is money laundering. The Democrats are involved in money laundering with Ukraine funding, and they funded their midterm re-election campaign with U.S. taxpayer dollars through a money laundering operation with Bankman-Fried and Zelensky in Ukraine. That is a fact. Yeah, I mean, we are being run by gangsters. There's no doubt about that. We are being run by very corrupt gangsters. Now, this testimony today, I'm really upset about Archer's testimony today. You know, after they tried to disappear him into the federal lockup over the weekend, Comer needs to change the hearing today and have it live on TV. We may never get to see Devon Archer testify on TV. Don't you understand? This is behind closed doors. Now, there'll be news accounts and things will leak out, but that's not the same as seeing the man speak, right? And if they were trying to lock him up in the federal prison before, a non-televised hearing, the second one is going to be televised. So and this is how they typically do it. I don't agree with it. So they have the non-televised hearing, and then down the road at a future date, they redo it, and it's on TV. Well, when your star witness, when they try to lock him up like they did Jeffrey Epstein 2 days before he's going to testify behind closed doors, I think it is a fair assumption that you're not going to have another opportunity, even if you get this one, to interview him again. Certainly not on television. And the American people need to see this. The Q&A on television is crucial to see the reactions of the witness to the different questions. And if they tried to lock him up before the non-televised hearing, what do you think they're going to do after this one? The chances are very slim that we're going to have a televised hearing with Archer. They're going to put him in jail. And I know he only got a year or a day, but, a lot can happen in that year. He could even get his sentence increased due to problems in prison. Or he could end up like Jeffrey Epstein. Who knows? So, I've supported Comer, and I like him, and everything he's done so far has been brilliant. But he's got to change this hearing to non-televised, behind closed doors, to a televised hearing. Because the Biden regime took things to another level over the weekend by trying to put him in prison so that he couldn't testify today. So we'll take our last break of the first hour. I'll get into some more details with Devon Archer. Your calls are welcome both on Archer and the black eye and bruises on President Obama. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE 1, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. My name is Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 46 years on the radio. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
Hey, how you doing? It's Uncle Eddie from Uncle Eddie's Restaurante. Listen up for all the locals out there. It's time for a deal. Half price entrees.
I mean, do you agree that this should be televised today after what they did over the weekend? What would you say the chances are? What are the odds that we'll be able to see him testify on TV in the future after this? Come on. Come on. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't show up today.
My prices are insane. Stop going to those spaghetti joints. You're not going to find great food and entertainment like at Uncle Eddie's. Where else are you going to
Mm-hmm.
Hurry up in.
Brian Craig here. When it comes time to get my blood work done, I don't have time to spend hours in the doctor's office or waiting hours in one of those big lines. That's why I do a lab test out of Boca.
Yeah. Slim to none. Yeah. It's highly unlikely. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. And everyone, please like the video. When you guys like the video, that helps get the video recommended and my other content to people that have not yet found me. Well, thank you, Deanna. Thank you very much.
Brian Craig here. I've suffered with massive pain in my knee for years, but not anymore. It's all gone, thanks to Dr. Appleton and his laser away pain system. I'm in studio right now with Dr. Appleton. Dr. Appleton, how'd you do it?
Well, I treated your knee pain with laser. Treatment is simple and no side effects. I have robotic lasers that have a wonderful effect on joint pain. These are all FDA approved.
Now, you don't just help with these. Tell the listeners what other areas you can help them with.
Any joint I can do, shoulder pain, hip pain, sciatica, stenosis, arthritis, tendonitis, bursitis, from the foot all the way up through the neck.
Dr. Appleton is a chiropractic physician, and with the laser away pain system, there's no injections, no surgery, and no drugs. He's open 6 days a week, and 7-day appointments are available. Call right now for your free consultation. 954-9...
Oh, yeah, they do run the country like a mafia operation, except they're doing it in the open.
This is Steve Kane. I want to tell you about our family dentist in the Kane household, Dr.
No, the UFOs are BS. Aliens are not and have not visited the Earth.
Gupta at our household because he takes the pain and the anxiety out of dental.
No.
All at an affordable price. Call Dr. Gupta at 954-922-4633. Tell him Steve sent you.
All right, here we go.
Social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All right, welcome everyone. 47 minutes after the hour, I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. I was just listening to the recorded commercial with Dr. Appleton. I was over at Dr. Appleton's Saturday for my follow-up treatment after my most recent skateboard accident, and I felt like I was at a personal appearance for the radio station. The lobby and the rooms were filled with listeners of our radio station, and it was nice to meet you all. And I talked to one guy, and he said he was just raving, telling me what a great job he had. I can't remember what his exact issue was. I told him to call in and tell us about it, but he had some issue that he was suffering with pain, and Dr. Appleton rid him of his pain. He was in there for his follow-up too. And he said, Brian, I heard you talking about it. It seems so crazy and far-fetched, but he's like, you're right, it works. I said, yeah, it works. Dr. Appleton's laser away pain treatment works. Let me just give out the number because I just heard the recorded commercial, and it's really amazing to be able to send people to end their suffering somewhere, right? You know, Dr. Appleton rids you of pain. He's done it with me 5 times. I think, was this my 5th time? I'm losing track. All right, give him a call. It's always no appointment necessary, and walk-ins are welcome, even on Saturdays. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. Online, AppletonChiro.com. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Dave in Virginia.
Hey, Dave. What's up?
Hey, did that Kevin Hart, did he ask for any security? I mean, he can't go to the FBI.
Who are you talking about? Who?
If he's going to testify, he would have to have some kind of security.
I don't know. I've heard that Archer's in hiding. I would not be surprised if he didn't show up today. I mean, they tried to put him in prison over the weekend, so he couldn't. They're terrified of his testimony.
So would McCarthy be the only one that could protect him? I mean, he can't go to the FBI and ask for...
Who? The Capitol Police? all those leftists, that the only authority he has under him are the Capitol Police, and they're radical. Yeah, they're radical leftists. Remember we saw them testify. They hate Republicans.
Yeah, he'd have to go to Trump. Ask Trump for some help.
Yeah.
I know he could go to.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. All right. Take care. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. It's Andrea.
Hey, Andrea.
So, I'm a Devon Archer son. This is what I think. They're not ever going to let him testify on TV because they're gassing you up again. But this is what I really think. And nobody's talked about this for years. I don't think the bad man is Hunter. I don't think the bad man is Devon Archer. I don't think the bad man is John Kerry's son. I think the bad man is Nancy Pelosi's son, who's been in business with Hunter Biden for years. And nobody's talking about it.
That's true. In fact, John Kerry's stepson got out of the business. It was too dirty even for him.
But Nancy Pelosi's son has been with Hunter Biden since the jump, and nobody's talking about it.
Well, Devon Archer, whatever Devon, the thing is, with someone like Devon Archer, criminals are always they're in a panic mode. The Biden regime are in a panic mode to try to put this guy in prison on a Saturday and open up the Justice Department on Saturday, find a federal judge on a Saturday, to try to put him in prison. Criminals think that everyone knows everything they've done, so they're always in a panic. And it's not just what they're afraid he's going to testify to; it's all the other things that he knows. Archer, they're terrified of Archer to make a crazy move like that over the weekend.
And I agree with you. I 100% agree with you. But what I also think is that all of this has been a look over here, so you don't really realize what's going on over here. I think Nancy Pelosi's son is the bad man for it all, which is why they...
Well, that's not true. I wouldn't say... I'm not saying he's not involved in their dirty dealings, but we know that they give fake jobs to Hunter and pay him huge sums of money and make deposits in his bank accounts, and Biden's house is in Hunter's name, and he does all these straw purchases, and even Hunter pays some of their basic bills, like cell phone bills and utility bills. So I'm not saying that they're not doing dirty deeds with Pelosi's son, but Hunter is definitely the money launderer for Joe. Well, I do know. All right, Andrea. All right. Well, that's okay. You're just not informed. That's okay. I know. I agree with some of what she's saying, but no. And yeah, what I just said to Andrea is so true. It's not just what Archer's going to testify to; it's the other things that he's seen. One of the things that Archer's testimony is going to be about is really a real criminal scheme that Biden was running here. He calls into these meetings, right? Or Hunter would call him to talk to these people. And the reason that Biden would do that is that because he was vice president, he's had Secret Service for life. There's a record of everywhere he goes and every place he's been and everyone he meets with. But on a private burner phone, there's no record of it. So he can do meetings over the phone without being records of it. And that's how he was getting around things. And that's huge stuff once they document that. In fact, Comer even has the phone records to back up the Archer testimony on this. These aren't just claims. They have witness testimony and documented evidence to back it up. Now, I will say this. Archer's testimony today, I'm not expecting it to be explosive in the media. I'm not saying they're not going to cover it, but I'm not expecting it to be explosive. And the reason that is because there's very little, if any, outrage about them trying to put him in prison over the weekend. Okay? All of a sudden, there's a rush to urgency. He got his sentence last year. Okay? So now all of a sudden the urgency, the media, if the media weren't state controlled, and we know they're state controlled now, I mean, everything, you know, the way they're behaving, if they weren't state controlled, they would be in complete meltdown mode over them trying to arrest Archer over the weekend. This is in the New York Post. The Justice Department is pushing for Devon Archer to report to prison just days ahead of the former Hunter Biden business partner's hotly anticipated congressional testimony, according to new court documents. Manhattan federal prosecutors on Saturday filed a letter requesting a judge set a date for Archer to start his one-year sentence in a fraud case unrelated to the Biden scandals. The request came after the appeals court didn't help out Archer, okay? But on a Saturday? How do you file a letter at a court on a Saturday? You gotta get people off their vacation to do such a thing. And even in the New York Post is covering it, but there doesn't seem to be a lot of urgency about doing this on a Saturday. I'm really worried about this guy. And you know what? You should be too. This guy must be the key to everything, or they wouldn't have gone for such a huge and bold move over the weekend. All right, our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE 1-888-465-2631. And I want to tell you guys that in this heat of the summer, oh man, is it rough out there. It is rough. It has been so hot. You know, on Saturday, the weather was so hot. I mean, I couldn't even go out of the house hardly. I came home from Dr. Appleton's, and that was it. I was done. I didn't go back outside. Yesterday, I didn't go outside too much either. I had to run 1 or 2 errands, and boom, that was it. And I left the car running because I didn't want to turn the AC off. But I'll tell you this, when I get in my bed, I am the perfect temperature because I've got the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper 2.0 with cooling technology, which perfectly regulates your body temperature. No matter what the temperature is in your room or outside, you are always the perfect temperature with Mike Lindell's new cooling technology. I was talking earlier, I got this 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper for my daughter in California for her sleeper sofa. It comes in every mattress size. So she gave us the mattress size for her sleeper sofa, and we ordered it, and she got it on Saturday. And I look forward to sleeping on it when I'm out there. It'll be just like sleeping at home because it's the same mattress topper I have on my own bed. You can also get the MyPillow 2.0 with cooling technology, which is buy one, get one free with our promo code CANE at checkout. Now, the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper 2.0 with cooling technology is 40% off and free shipping when you use our promo code CANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. I don't know how long this is going to last because they are selling the cooling technology products at MyPillow.com are selling like mad because of this hot summer weather. So I wouldn't waste too much time to order yours. And remember, they come in every mattress size there is. 40% off and free shipping with our promo code CANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. So yeah, so this testimony today is not televised, so you're not going to have some exciting thing to watch on TV, but there'll be some leaks that come out, and hopefully that'll be good. Now also, we're in the final, really, bit of life of the DeSantis campaign. But Megyn Kelly interviewed DeSantis last week. Did any of you watch this? You know, I thought Megyn Kelly was all right. She made up with Trump at Turning Point. I do watch some of her interviews, pretty good. Her interview, Megyn Kelly's interview with Ron DeSantis was so vacuous. She asked a lot of good questions with no real follow-up. It was such a PR interview. It was like she was hired by the campaign to do the interview. I couldn't believe. And the one big thing about DeSantis, he's about 30 points behind Trump in Florida. So if he can't win Florida, how's he going to win nationally? He's the sitting governor. And he brags about how he just won re-election, but he's getting creamed in the polls in Florida. That didn't come up. No follow-ups. I was so disappointed in Megyn Kelly, and I liked her. And then she did that interview. Did any of you guys see that? It was I was really almost embarrassed for her. We'll take our break for the top and come back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show.
WWNN Pompano Beach. WIRK. 561-570-5700. 561-570-5700. Robes winning for you and our community. Your home for the Steve Kane Show. From the Palm Beach Patio Furniture Weather Center, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created, here's the oldies forecast.
Good morning, everybody. On this Monday, we have a marginal risk for isolated severe storms as we hit the late afternoon and evening hours. So impact weather today. There's also a heat advisory up for the Treasure Coast until 5 o'clock tonight. I'm WPBF 25 First Warning Meteorologist Sandra Shaw.
Weather brought to you by Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Route 1 Seminole Plaza Shops, North Palm Beach.
Oh, gosh, a lot of great stories today. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. Megyn Kelly, every once in a while, she does okay. But this DeSantis interview she did, it was awful. It was a PR interview. You know, the key to an interview, it's not the initial questions, it's the follow-up, right? And you know, first off, to treat him as a legitimate competitor to Trump is absurd on the face of it. The Trump Winery is absolutely beautiful. Wow. Where is the Trump Winery?
Here's your True Oldies ABC News Update.
ABC News Now, I'm Tom Rivers. The New York Times says the Biden administration believes Chinese hackers have uploaded malware to U.S. networks to impact both military and civilian operations.
Officials say the malicious code could disrupt power grids, communication systems, and water supplies that feed military bases around the world. But the impact could spread.
Luna, you know, she's been hiding from us in the house. You know, she was a stray living on the streets. And the last couple days, she left the room. She was very comfortable in my studio, and then she decided to go wandering. And she's been hiding around the house. And then I got up today, and she had eaten all the food in her dish and used her litter. But it's going to take her a while to warm up. You know, I've never had a cat that was like a stray. You know, she's not feral, but I wouldn't say she's completely domesticated yet. So it's going to take more time than we thought. Yeah, yesterday I was getting worried because I had not seen her, and then I found her underneath one of our couches. So I moved the couch to try to get to her so I could reach her, and she walked backwards when I moved the couch. I moved it forward, she walked forward. So I just left her alone. Just gonna, you know, it was pretty funny. But she ate all her food and used her litter. I saw this morning when I got up. I just don't know where she's hiding. I looked all over the house yesterday and this morning and couldn't find her. Well, yeah, she is pretty. She's a sweet cat. Yeah, she's doing good. Well, street cats, you know, my daughter was telling me, cats that live on the street, strays, they hide all day and they come out at night, which is true. All right. All right, hour number 2 has begun. I'm Brian. You are listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Our number 1, 888-GO-KANE-1. I've covered quite a bit already today. I'll just go to the phones, and we'll do some recapping later. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Conservative.
Hey, Doug.
You know, first I'd like to quickly say
That Trump speech was fantastic. He just gets better and better and better. I mean, every one he does is good, but this one was really excellent to me, anyway.
Oh, that was a great rally, and I was watching on Right Side Broadcasting all afternoon, and before hours before President Trump came out and people are waiting, the people waiting did a conga line, which I've never seen before at a Trump rally. I don't know if they were serving booze at that rally, but they were doing this big conga line around. It was pretty cool.
What a crowd, man. Unbelievable. I mean, this guy, no, we're so lucky. We're never going to see a president be able to do anything like this again. I mean, this guy is so special. People, who comes out to see a president to talk like that? This is totally unique. Totally, unbelievable. That's all I can say.
Oh, yeah, it was very good.
The other thing I wanted to mention is that this Biden reminds me of, that mafia guy who used to walk around in his pajamas. I'm just a sick guy. I don't do anything. Meanwhile, everybody in his mafia side.
Well, there was what Doug is talking. I don't remember the guy's name, but back in the 90s or early 2000s, there was this old man who was the big mafia boss in New York, and he was facing indictment by the FBI, and he started walking the streets in his pajamas, acting like he was checked out. But that didn't hold up. They locked him up. But as checked out as Biden appears to be, when the Justice Department went in and tried to put the star witness against the Bidens in prison over the weekend on a Saturday, I don't think they would do something like that without someone very high up like Biden signing off on it. That's pretty big what they did.
Oh yeah, this is. I'm saying it's the mafia. This guy has mafia tactics. Mafia can learn from Biden. This guy is really like the president said.
Well, maybe he's learned from the mafia.
Yeah, no. Well, he learned all these years, and now they can take notes from him. I think, man, this guy.
Now let me ask you: Do you have any thoughts on the other story we were talking about in the first hour? Those of you that missed this. Now, last weekend, Obama's chef died. They say drowning at the Obama's Martha's Vineyard estate. And then Obama showed up on the golf course on Friday with 3 bandages on his left hand. He's left-handed, okay, so that's his dominant hand, and a black eye. So, which obviously Obama was in some type of physical conflict with someone. What are your thoughts on that, Doug?
Man, I'm telling you, that's certainly suspicious. I'm telling you, you got to ask questions. Why? Where'd you get the black eye from? How come there's somebody dead that you was working for you all of a sudden, and you have this?
Well, if someone was working at your house and they turned up dead, and then a couple days later you're all cut up on your hand that you used to punch with, and you've got a black eye, you would become an instant person of interest with the investigators, Doug.
Oh, for sure, guaranteed. They'd be hounding you until you confess, or certainly, but nothing's going to be asked about Obama because he's Obama.
Mm-hmm.
Obama.
Yeah. All right, take care. I appreciate that. Yeah, these are things. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. What's up, Wellington?
Hey, what's up, Wellington?
Yeah, it might be Biden's dog that bit Obama. I mean, you never know, man. But
yeah, but who gave him the black eye?
Yeah, I honestly, man, the corruption that's going on at this point and the cover that they're laying for these people at this point is terrible. I mean, the fact that 2 chefs have died under 2 presidents and mysterious.
Wait, 2 chefs? Who's the other chef?
You didn't know that Bill Clinton's chef was mysteriously found dead, floating?
No.
This is, I want to say after he left office, it was his purpose.
Maybe, that sounds familiar. I got to go back. I'm not so sure of that. But, hey, listen, a lot of people have died around the Clintons. How do you think Obama got the black eye?
Well, I honestly, there's foul play involved with them laying as much cover as they have, with them erasing all the 911 details, whoever called, and the other person that was in the water with them, there was a second person in the water with that person paddleboarding.
Vaguely remember it.
They won't lay any details on who it is.
Well, there were 2 other people. There was someone who swam ashore. There was someone who called 911. There may have been 2 other people. You know, the Clinton chef, now that you mention it, so I'm going to look up it's been so long since I thought about that. I've tried to black out the Clintons, you know. But, you know, well, see, cooks, you know, chefs, cooks, servers, people forget they're there and start talking.
Right. Not even just that. I believe that what we're watching with Biden is the corruption.
Okay, Clinton's was back in 2015. Okay, a former White House executive chef was found dead in the mountains of New Mexico due to drowning. New Mexico's a damn desert. This guy drowned in the deserts of New Mexico. Yeah. Oh my goodness. And that was the Clinton. So the Clinton chef also drowned. Now I remember. So, oh my goodness.
His name was Sinise or something like that. What was his last name?
Walter Schleib, Scheib, Scheib, Walter Scheib. It says, this is from CNN back in 2015. A former White House executive chef found dead in the mountains of New Mexico, drowned, according to the New Mexico Department of Public Safety. Autopsy determined it was accidental. He served under President Clinton and George W. Bush. He went to go hiking and was later reported missing. His body was found submerged in a mountain drainage flowing with surface runoff. And there you got it. So we've got 2 presidential chefs died of drowning. And, you know, people that do such things, they kind of stick to what they know, right? Like
the old dog can't learn a new trick. That's how they get rid of their dump.
That's right. They're comfortable with it. That's, you know, yeah, it's a signature.
I honestly think that what we're watching with Biden isn't really dementia. I think it's the corruption that he's wielded upon this country that's starting to play out in his physical sense. He can't deal with the guilt, not even guilt, but just when you're that corrupt, you just don't even know what's coming next.
You know, now that you mention, you know, listen, now this I remember the Clinton chef story's coming back. Okay, now you know oh my goodness. I remember getting a call from a Democrat because we were talking about the Clinton chef drowning in New Mexico being a desert and shallow. And I remember a Democrat calling in and saying, well, you could drown with a tablespoon of water. Really? Really? Yeah, exactly. In a puddle, exactly. And there was something comes to mind. If anybody remembers the Clinton chef drowning, something comes to mind about it being low-level water where he was found.
It was less than 4 foot, I want to say.
Oh my, come on. Give me a break.
It was a retention pond they found him floating in. But what my problem is with all of this, Brian, is that we're watching this stuff play out. And how much more can play out with nobody doing anything, with nothing really happening?
Well, they control the federal law enforcement. I mean, look, what's scary to me is not these things that they're doing. What's the scary part is that they're doing it openly without any fear of being held accountable. That's what's scary.
Well, just like they did with the voting booths in.
Well, like these 2 things over the weekend, like Obama. Everyone was talking about with Obama with a strange thing. Anyone else would wait for the black eye to heal before they went out in public in front of cameras. He doesn't care. He knows there's not going to be any question. Then this thing about on Saturday trying to put Archer in prison the Saturday before he's going to testify in front of this committee on all the Biden crimes. I mean, that's a hardcore move. And what a normal person would do is say, listen, he's a nonviolent white-collar criminal. The conviction was over a year ago. Let's just wait, just so people don't think we're involved in something. Let's just wait until after he testifies. Then we'll pick him up. But they didn't do that. They tried to stop him from testifying today, even though it's not going to be on TV and behind closed doors.
Well, this is all part of the cover-up, and I always hear that the cover-up is worse than the crime, but we're watching it play out openly like this is Law and Order.
Yeah. You know, Richie the bus driver called in and thinks that Obama was like boyfriends with the chef.
It would not surprise me. It would not surprise me at all, and that's why, I mean, nobody's going to question him. Nobody's going to do anything to him. Martha's Vineyard's terrified of that dude. But, I mean, I don't understand how we can continue on in a republic with this.
Well, we're not. This is not our free country is an illusion, is what we've learned. It's an illusion. It's not really free.
That's what our parents told us forever, and they were lied to. So
that's right.
So it's a terrible.
Yep. All right. Thanks for the call. All right. If you're on hold, stand by. Back after this.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show.
Liberace was married, wasn't he? At one point, wasn't Liberace married to a woman?
For the cash home buyers, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house in South Florida and want to sell it fast for a great price, call me at 561-570-7070. I can pay cash and close in as little as 3 days or on your time frame. I can even pay you a cash advance before the closing. I'm a local cash buyer and I'm looking to purchase more houses. I buy all types of properties in any condition, any price range.
When he hits me with
I buy inherited houses.
well, first of all, I mean, I think a lot of the stuff when he.
Oh, I got to sneeze. Hold on. Take the mic off to sneeze.
I think that helps me. I don't think voters. I think they look at it and they realize, you know what? It's not effective, so I don't think it's effective. So I actually don't mind it at all. I think it's just a reminder why there's so many millions of voters who will never vote for him.
That's 561-570-7070. 561-570-7070.
Just because you're getting older doesn't mean you have to feel older.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. It's really hot in here. It's like 98 degrees in this room. Thank you, guys, for the bless yous. Hey, guys, did you all watch my live streams over the weekend from my my studio? If you haven't, go back and watch those. I had two. I did a live stream yesterday, which was very good. Great call. You know, I take live calls on my streams from my studio as well, and covered a lot of good stuff yesterday. And then Saturday, I did a Trump rally after party and went through the highlights, played all the highlights from the rally. So if you missed those live streams, go back and watch them. Oh, no. Well, you can always go back and watch it. And great calls on those streams, by the way, too. Great calls.
The bank can provide your attendees a memorable experience. Select from our rooftop Blue Parrot Ballroom, the studio gallery-inspired space, the Kingfisher Boardroom, or opt for fresh breezes in the park at Banyan Square. Contact the sales team at the Bend now for great meeting planner specials for the months of April and May. Call today, 561-655-4001.
Brian Craig here, telling you about our 5th annual listener cruise. And you're all invited, except Liberal Al. Liberal Al, you're not invited, but the rest of you are. We leave April 27th on board the Celebrity Beyond, the flagship of celebrity cruises. We're going to the ABC Islands, Curacao, Bonaire, and Aruba. We have shore excursions at every port, and I'll be on them all with you. We'll have dinner together every night, private cocktail parties, we'll go to Broadway shows together, and dance till the clubs close every night. Call Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot and book your reservation at 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right, you know, on this Obama conspiracy with the chef, I didn't really get involved in this until Obama showed up all bruised. His dominant hand, Obama's left-handed, right? So if he's going to punch, he's going to use his left hand. He's got 3 bandages on his left hand and a black eye. I mean, come on. Come on. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. This is Bill from Sanford. Huh?
All right. Hey, Bill, what's up?
Well, I think you ought to give some of these hosts like Mark Levin and Laura and Eric Bolling, when they interviewed DeSantis, you got to give them some slack, because if they started getting in the face of all these guests, their guests are not going to show up. Now you're right in what Levin could have asked some hard questions, and Laura and Eric.
Megyn Kelly. You know, Megyn Kelly, I think, went out to dinner with the DeSantises.
Well, yeah, I don't like that. That's not a good.
That's not appropriate.
I've been watching Megyn Kelly, and I think she's 100% different than the interview in 2016. I think she's a conservative. She's going to vote for Trump, but they have to have guests on. They have to have
No, listen. It is worthless to have a guest on if you're not going to ask them, these questions. If President Trump were here, I'd ask him. I will never disagree nor criticize Trump, but I would bring up some of the big controversies around him so we could get the record straight with people, and I would ask the president if we could take calls from liberals that don't support him.
I think that does a good job is Hannity, and I haven't been watching him, but he has a list of questions that I remember, and he asks all the guests the same questions. Okay,
yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, right. If I had to, and again, we're open to have Governor DeSantis on this program. Governor DeSantis is welcome live in studio. We're here in Florida. And he is welcome to come live in studio. And hey, that'd be pretty great. If he came in here, I'd be a little nervous. He'd come, presidential candidate. He's got a whole security detail, a whole staff. And I would ask him, first off, I would tell him how disappointed and betrayed I feel by him. And I'd get into all that. And there are two things I would go over with him. I'd go over the polls. You're getting whooped in Florida against Trump. If you can't win Florida, how are you going to? And I would also get into this thing about transferring the money from his gubernatorial campaign to his presidential campaign, that $20 million.
You for that. There's no.
But the Megyn Kelly, I like Megyn Kelly lately. I've been watching her a lot. But this interview she did with DeSantis was as bad as the Mark Levin interview. In some ways worse because it was like 90 minutes. Mark Levin's was like 25 minutes.
Yeah, but Mark Levin's monologues, he's Trump all the way. If you listen to his monologue, this guy he's against what they're doing to Trump. He's going to be voting for him. There's no question in my mind against any Democrat. But listen to his monologue. The guy's Trump to me.
Well, Trump likes him. Trump posts Mark Levin's monologues on his True Social every Monday. Even including this Monday. I saw on True Social he posted them. From Levin last night. But that interview that Mark Levin did with Ron DeSantis was it was an infomercial.
It was too soft, way too soft.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just giving you what they think. I'm not, I may be wrong, but they have to have guests. I may be wrong, but they have.
Well, listen, when I'll tell you, I had when that Parkland cop, the coward that got acquitted, recently was on trial. Yeah, and there was a friend of Steve's and mine who's a career police officer wanted to come in and defend him, and I said, and we told him that's fine, but you're not going to get a free ride. I don't know if we're going to be, and I said I don't know if we're going to be friends anymore after you're on the show because we got, we can't have you on here to do some infomercial for this coward cop. We're going to ask you tough questions and take calls. And I'll tell you, when Jeb was running for governor the first time he won in 1998, we had him in studio, and we took calls from Democrats with Jeb. And I remember one black woman called in to Jeb Bush. He wasn't governor yet. He was running. This is the election he won. And she said, Jeb Bush, what are you going to do for black people? One of our liberal caller to Jeb Bush. He said nothing. He says, I'm not going to do anything for black people that I don't do for white people. He says, I got to do special things for people Now, he became a creep later, okay, Jeb, obviously. But I would want to have the governor here, Governor DeSantis, in studio. I got 2, 3, 4 things to ask him, and then I want to open up the phones to his constituents. We could even, yeah.
And if he had good answers, that would be to his benefit.
I'll even let him hold a beer if he needs that to feel comfortable.
I would love to see him on your program. God, that'd be the best interview of all. Oh my God.
I will tell you, I would be nervous because I would be respectful. I mean, he's not Pence. I'd be respectful, but the first thing I would say to him is, I feel betrayed by you, and I'm not alone. The MAGA Republicans in Florida feel betrayed. You lied to us. We feel you lied to us. And I would tell him how upset I was, and have him explain himself when Bragg was coming down here to arrest Trump, and he said he wouldn't interfere. He wouldn't have an inquest, an investigation to determine whether or not it was a valid extradition request. None of that. I mean, but the Governor DeSantis, I'm not kidding. Maybe he'll convert me. Maybe he'll flip me. And I will be wearing my MAGA hat. Okay? I will be wearing it. Yeah.
Yeah. And same thing with what's her name, Haley. She made a promise just like DeSantis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. All right. By the way, how do you think Obama got? How do you think Obama? Hold on. How do you think Obama got the black eye?
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a good question. But, I think I put a comment in the chats about like Tiger Woods wears Band-Aids when he golfs.
I'm not talking about the Band-Aids. I'm talking about he got the Band-Aids and the black eye. And I'll tell you a thing about... Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and then you got a dead person, so
that's right.
He has to be interviewed. You can't softball him, but nobody's going to do that.
I'm asking. All right, take care, man. I got to run. All right, we'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. I think you're going to really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Brought to you by Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Route 1 Seminole Plaza Shops, North Palm Beach. Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Voted in the best of the best patio store in Palm Beach County. PalmBeachPatioFurniture.com, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created.
And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
We're still crash free this morning for the Palm Beach commute. I-95 in the turnpike remaining inside free and moving up to full speed between local return and Jupiter. We are seeing some more volume on Southern Boulevard eastbound coming out of the 8 race, but the service routes are crash free at this time. We're seeing some more volume also on 95 heading northbound from the Beach in the Boca. This report is sponsored by Blindster.com. Since 2010, Blindster has sold millions of custom blinds, shades, and shutters to satisfy customers across the country with 20,000 5-star reviews.
Let's see here.
Custom blinds at low prices and free shipping. Blindster.com. That's traffic.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Let me get to this breaking news. I have in my hand a letter from the...
Deadly high hands, mega bad beat jackpots, and big money tournaments like the 100,000.
Yeah, great calls today. I must say, great calls today.
August 3rd through the 6th. Visit our newly expanded casino table game area with your favorites, Ultimate Texas Hold'em and 3-card poker with just a $5 minimum. Your entertainment destination. Go to PB Kennel Club.
Welcome. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. There's over 1,300 in the live stream. Please like the video. That helps get my videos recommended to people that have not yet found my channel. This is our bottom of the hour break. We'll be back on the air in just a couple minutes, and I'm going to get back into the Devon Archer story when we get back. I mean, that's the big one today. I mean, you got the star witness against the Bidens, and then 2 days before on a Saturday, they try to put him in prison. Give me a break. Well, we don't know how he got the black eye. All we know is that a man was dead at his house, and then a few days go by, Obama turns up with his hand bandaged and a black eye. And I'm wondering if that golf game was scheduled long ago, or were they trying to use the golf game as an excuse for the bandaged hands? He is a lefty. No, the AC, it just doesn't seem cold in here. But, you know, there's a lot of equipment, too, you know. But it's hotter than normal. That's why I took my sweatshirt off. Mm-hmm.
What is neuropathy? Peripheral neuropathy is actually nerve damage to the legs and feet. And what are the symptoms? Numbness, tingling, burning.
Did anyone else see that Megyn Kelly interview with DeSantis? Oh, these sucky interviews. Sucking up to people. Open a window. These are hurricane glass. You can't open these windows. Plus, we're not on the first floor. It was. She should be embarrassed of that interview. She really should be.
Hey, good morning, Brian. It's Lisa, and my husband and I received our My Pillow 2.0 that we ordered with Kane the other day to buy one get one free, and they're our first My Pillows, and we love them.
If you're on hold, hang in there.
They're just absolutely marvelous. Yeah, I'm so glad. I got slippers on the way too.
Go to mypillow.com and use our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, and buy your My Pillow 2.0. Right now, buy one, get one free. You can also order by phone, toll free, 800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane.
Are you ready to escape the scorching summer heat? Well, hop on board Margaritaville. See summer blowout sale.
You only watch Trump? Well, you're lucky. I have to watch all this other crap.
Grand Bahama for just $99. Time to rediscover paradise on the newly refreshed and reimagined Margaritaville at sea. And reset your serve with pickleball at sea. Revive your
What's pickleball? Is that like that little tennis thing?
relish a fresh snack in the Cheeseburger in Paradise Burger Bar. But hurry, this amazing blowout sale will only last a few days. Book your getaway today at margaritavilleatsea.com.
This message is sponsored by the Florida A&M University Medical Marijuana Education and Research Initiative, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
Mary on Demand is live. Start your marijuana education journey today and learn more with Mary on Demand. Take the self-guided education series at your own pace. You decide what you'd like to learn and when. Visit mary.famu.edu to learn more. That's mmeri.famu.edu. Mary, educate, learn, talk. Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 46 years on the air.
All right, calls on hold, stand by. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. So let me play this audio. This, if you're just tuning in, we've covered a lot. We'll recap. The main stories today is the Obama chef story, huge developments in that. But the other big story, of course, is the Devon Archer story, okay? So I got a clip here. I'm going to play Comer with Maria Bartiromo yesterday. And Bartiromo's voice is just, ugh. And to me, when I see her on television, she looks like she just rolled out of bed, doesn't she? Like, she just does. But anyway, Archer, he is the star witness in Comer's committee. He's testifying today, not on television, behind closed doors. And the Saturday before, which was this past Saturday, the Saturday before his testimony, Biden tried to get him locked up in prison. They went to a federal judge over the weekend, tried to get him locked up in prison. This is Comer yesterday talking to Bartiromo on Fox about it. Scary stuff, guys.
I want to ask you about your investigation, but first let me get to this breaking news. I have in my hand a letter
from the Department of Justice that was sent to the Southern District of New York on Saturday. By the way, Devon Archer is testifying on Monday. Do you usually see the DOJ send letters like this out on a Saturday?
Never. This is the first time I've ever heard of the Department of Justice doing anything on a Saturday.
So what is this letter? Can you walk us through it? The government is apprising the court of the status of Devon Archer's appeal of his judgment of conviction, and they request that the court set a surrender date for the defendant to report to a facility. Please walk us through what this letter says.
Yeah, the letter from the Department of Justice is trying to nudge the judge to go ahead and sentence Devon Archer for something unrelated to what we're going to be talking to him about tomorrow. It's odd that it was issued on a Saturday, and it's odd that it's right before he's scheduled to come in to have an opportunity to speak in front of the House Oversight Committee and tell the American people the truth about what really went on with Burisma. So, I don't know if this is a coincidence, Maria, or if this is another example of the weaponization of the Department of Justice, but I can tell you this. The lengths to which the Biden legal team has gone to try to intimidate our witnesses, to coordinate with the Department of Justice, and to certainly coordinate with the Democrats on the House Oversight Committee to encourage people not to cooperate with our investigation, to encourage banks not to turn over bank records, to encourage Treasury not to let us have access to those suspicious activity reports. It's very troubling, and I believe that this is another violation of the law. This is obstruction of justice, but nevertheless, we're going to continue.
Yeah, we're going to continue. Yeah, I mean, this is insane. And we know what happens when people get sent to federal lockup, because we saw it happen with Jeffrey Epstein. Oh, my goodness. And I love how the press just accept what the regime have to say about this, okay? So it is what it is, okay? It looks like what it is. They try to get this guy in lockup so he couldn't testify today, even though it's not on television behind closed doors. To suggest otherwise is just absurd, right? So here's the update. Listen to this. This is just nonsense. The Department of Justice has claimed it did not call for Devon Archer to be jailed before his testimony today, following an odd letter that critics warn could attempt to intimidate witnesses. So, if they didn't request it, where'd the letter come from? In fact, Bartiromo showed the letter. The letter's been all over the internet. It's been all over the news. Don't believe your lying eyes, people. The letter was filed with the court. The Department of Justice has claimed it did not call for Devon Archer to be jailed before his testimony today, following an odd letter on July 29th that critics warn could be an attempt to intimidate witnesses. You think? Devon Archer, a friend and business partner of Hunter Biden, is set to testify before the House Oversight Committee today. He's expected to talk about Joe Biden's interaction with Hunter's business associates while he was vice president. Hey, can you impeach? They impeached Trump after he was out of office. Can they impeach a vice president after they're out of office, even if they're president? I wonder. House Oversight and Accountability Committee Chair James Comer said the Justice Department was acting unusual by sending a letter to a New York judge calling for Archer's sentencing to be expedited before Monday. Republicans say the move by the DOJ was an attempt to intimidate Archer, who they view as being central to providing information that's critical. I got the letter right here. The letter's in the article. So the letter's in the article, but they got a screenshot of the letter, but they're still telling you that they didn't do it. In response, the Justice Department told District Judge Abrams on Sunday that they don't wish to see Archer in prison before he testifies. Then why'd they send the letter and try to lock him up on Saturday? I'm so upset this is behind closed doors today. All this hype around it. Do you realize everybody be watching this today? When have we had a witness against a president of the United States testify like this when the president's regime tried to arrest him and put him in prison 2 days before he was going to testify? It's not just witness intimidation. What other crimes would this be? They're obviously interfering with the job of the Congress. There's got to be some other crimes that are connected, trying to jail a witness before they can testify. Hours later, the Justice Department issued a new letter, saying they never intended to see Archer locked up before he testifies. Forget about that old letter that says we want him locked up before he can testify. We got a new letter. And the media are like, oh, okay, I'm glad we could clarify this. Meanwhile, Biden appeared the picture of calm on Sunday at the beach in Delaware. Yeah, I saw that. He looked so checked out. Despite reports that Archer plans to implicate Joe in his... See, the reason that Joe looks so calm... See, I saw this, okay? So the corporate mainstream state-controlled media, they love to show Biden... I don't know what he was doing. Was that a cooler he was going through? I don't know. They're like, look how calm he is. He's not worried about this guy. It's not that he isn't concerned that Archer's going to, he's got nothing on me. He's got nothing to say. That's not it. He doesn't fear consequences because he's gotten away with crime his whole life. Like when Jean-Pierre said that Biden's not going to pardon Hunter, right? And that's not written in stone. He could still do it. Jean-Pierre said he can't do it. Well, he's not going to do it. Doesn't mean he wouldn't do it. But Biden can, with confidence, say he's not going to pardon Hunter because he knows Hunter's going to get away with it. Like he gets away with everything else, okay? These are lifetime criminals. There have never been any consequences. And so far as public opinion polls, Biden spent most of his career in the Senate, and Congress always is polling in the mid to low 20s. He doesn't care about opinion polls. He doesn't care about witnesses. He doesn't care about accusations because he's gotten away with everything his entire life. And he feels he'll get away with this. And you know what? He might. Because after this closed-door testimony, they're going to lock this guy up, and God knows what happens to him then. The chances of seeing this guy doing the follow-up televised hearing in front of Comer's committee, the odds are slim to none. And unfortunately, it's like with the federal courts. If it's not televised, if people can't see it, it's like it didn't happen. So when this hearing happens today, if Archer shows up, if he makes it there, who knows? He may be in hiding and flee, but if he shows up and the testimony goes through, we're not going to see it because it's not on TV. Members of the committee will come out and tell us what happened, and it'll be really non-eventful beyond tomorrow morning possibly, if even that long. Because when you're just here, you're going to have the Democrats and the Republicans come out, and the Democrats are going to spin it, and that's going to be it. And that'll be the end of the news cycle by tomorrow, when it's not televised, okay? That's why Comer should change. We control the House. You would think they control the House the way we're behaving. Turn the cameras on today, because this very well, most likely, is the only time you're going to have to talk to Archer. And the American people need to see it. This is nonsense. All right, we're going to take our last break of the second hour. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. Don't forget, if you ever miss a portion of a show or a show, go to our radio station website, trueoldiesfla.com, and every day, about an hour after we go off the air, our board-op Mike uploads the entire show as a podcast at trueoldiesfla.com. And then the shows are archived up there forever. All right? We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
Hey, it's Scott Chick.
Testing 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3.
Camera that connects directly to your cell phone with installation of your Shield. You can see your
with me this morning, bringing in the exciting radio at its absolute best. That's right. What?
And professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. So you're getting an
Testing 1, 2, 3.
pad, a
Testing
motion
1, wait.
detector, 3 armed doors, and a backup battery.
Testing 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Oldies channel listeners to dial
Testing 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
you'll receive a free doorbell camera with the
So?
installation of your Sloman Shield. So call Sloman's now for this limited time offer. 833-283-5050. That's 833-283-5050.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business for 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
I just had my cataract surgery, and Dr. Devon did an outstanding job. I was extremely nearsighted my entire life, but the new trifocal panel lenses can serve allowed me to see more clearly than before, and no one wants this more contacts.
All right, guys, we're coming back shortly. I'm just talking. We're doing an air check with Steve. Mic check.
Do you suffer from knee pain? Have you been told that you have bone-on-bone or need a knee replacement? Have you been told that you have osteoarthritis? Well, then come see us at Lighthouse Medical Center. We have non-surgical solutions that include rehab and injections that can prevent you from having to have surgery or prolong the surgery. We've been in practice for 75 years in South Florida. You don't have to live with pain any longer. 754-222-6642. That's 754-222-6642.
When you need lab work, don't waste hours and hours waiting at the doctor's office or one of those big labs. Go to any lab test now in Boca and any lab test now in Coral Springs. Their prices are guaranteed to be the lowest you'll find anywhere. No appointment, doctor's order, or prescription is needed, and you're in and out in 15 minutes or less. They offer every lab and blood work your doctor can order. They even have drug testing and STD testing. Take control of your health care and visit any lab test now in Boca and any lab test now in Coral Springs. There's lots of any lab test nows around, but these are the only two advertising on our only go to any lab test now in Boca and any lab test now in Coral Springs. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio.
Social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve King Show is on the air.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian. You're listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. Hey, Steve. Oh, no, I told you, Steve, it's low. I said it's low. I can hear you, but it's low. So you're on the air. All right, I guess we're going to have to call you on the phone, Steve, at the top of the hour because your connection's just, I can hear you, but it's too low. And I got you turned up all the way on my end. All right, at the top, I'll call you on the phone. So sorry about that. Now, I want to tell everybody about the Sloman's free home security system and free doorbell camera offer with professional installation. This offer is back. I have this doorbell camera. My daughter has this. And you can get a free doorbell camera if you're one of the first 40 listeners who call 1-833-283-5050. You'll get a free doorbell camera that connects directly to your cell phone with the installation of your Sloman Shield. And you can see your house no matter where you are. And I use it all the time. Sometimes while I'm here at the radio studio, I'm checking out what's going on. When I was on our cruise, I was looking and seeing what was going on. And I check all the time when I'm out and about. And it's really a cool thing to have. What we use it for mostly is when there's a DoorDash delivery, Instacart, or Amazon. We can see who's there, see if there's packages there, and all that stuff. We get a notification when there's movement at the door. It's a great thing. But Sloman's, they're also going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. You get an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3 armed doors, a backup battery, and if you're one of the first 40 listeners who call 1-833-283-5050, you'll get a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. So call them. This is a limited time offer. 1-833-283-5050. 1-833-283-5050. All right? Okay, now we got a lot going on today. I want to recap the two main stories that I've been talking about. And then there's some big stuff going on with DeSantis as well. And Steve will join us after the top. I'll get Steve on the phone. I don't know what's going on with Steve's studio, but it's been nothing but problems. Maybe we need to start over with new, just throw all that equipment away and get new stuff, because it's not working. But that's okay. We'll persevere. This is the longest running radio show, and we've been through bigger problems than that over the years. We'll get through this. There's the two main stories I've been talking about here early in the show. I just want to recap them, and then we'll get into some of the other things that I've not touched on yet, including there's a couple of scandalous things with Ron DeSantis, and I'm not talking about his awkward moments over the weekend with the beer, okay, which was rather awkward and very bizarre. But there's some scandalous things with him that I think people need to know about. But I just want to recap the couple of stories I've been talking about today. The most recent is Devon Archer. Devon Archer's the star witness, and this guy's got a lot on Biden, right? He puts Biden involved in these meetings with Hunter that he's denied having anything to do with. All right? And Comer says that they have the phone records to back up his statements. So then over the weekend, 2 days before his testimony, Biden tries to put him in prison over the weekend to stop him from testifying today. That's huge. I mean, that's witness tampering. That's witness tampering and witness intimidation. I mean, that, to me, I take that almost as a threat against the guy after what happened with Epstein, okay? The other story, which is not gossip, when this story first started, when people first started talking about it, I said, I don't know, let's give it some time. This sounds like gossip. But now some other things have happened, okay? The Obama chef that died last Sunday, very mysterious circumstances. We've got no autopsy, but they've given us the cause of death, drowning. How do you give us the cause of death without an autopsy? The last time I heard a high-profile death that was unexpected, where we got a cause of death before an autopsy, was when Andrew Breitbart died. Before Andrew Breitbart died, when he died, before they did an autopsy, they gave us the cause of death in the media. How do you give a cause of death on guys before an autopsy? Well, they do in these instances. But anyway, a lot of strange things around the death of the chef, okay? They said Obama wasn't there, but now we find out he was at Martha's Vineyard, just, they say, not at the property when it happened. The authorities have changed details on the 911 call. But, and all that, still, I didn't get involved in all that, because I'm like, you know, and people last week on the show were trying to get us to talk about it. I was like, I don't know, that seems like, you know, I don't see anything. And then Friday, Obama shows up at the golf course. He's got his left hand bandaged. He's got 3 Band-Aids on his left hand. One finger has 2 Band-Aids, another finger has 1, and it's his left hand, and Obama's left-handed. Now that you may say, oh, you know, that's for his golf swing. Well, explain his black eye. Obama, his left eye is black. I've never had a black eye. Have you? I've been in fights, I've fallen, I've gotten in accidents. I've never had a black eye. Okay? So how did Obama get the black eye? And if anyone else, if any normal person had someone die at their home and then a couple days later show up with bandages on their hand, on their dominant hand, and a black eye, they'd be all over you. So those are the 2 main topics we've been talking about today, and your thoughts on those, both of those news items are very much welcome at 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. Okay, now Laura Loomer has uncovered some big stories about Ron DeSantis over the weekend. And one of them, it involves his fundraising bundlers, right? His campaign financing that's going on. One of his bundlers is a lobbyist for Bud Light. Yeah, isn't that something? A Bud Light lobbyist is doing fundraising for Ron DeSantis, according to Laura Loomer. And from following Laura Loomer over the years, she's always right. I've never known Laura Loomer to be wrong in the end. The only time I questioned her is before we knew about DeSantis being fake MAGA. She showed up at a book signing and wasn't allowed in. Remember that? I'm like, I don't know, Laura Loomer. And then that was true. So he's got a Budweiser lobbyist, DeSantis, donating to, working as a bundler, raising money for his campaign. That's huge. And now there's another scandal with this fundraising that's going on. I have to read this story slow because there's some salty language. Here's the headline. This is in the National Pulse, thenationalpulse.com. Ron DeStripper, top DeSantis donor in raunchy gentleman's club ad. Now, a gentleman's club is a strip club. Top Ron DeSantis fundraiser, donor, and bundler. This is in the National Pulse, okay? Top Ron DeSantis fundraiser, donor, and bundler, Brooke Walter, appears in a raunchy advertisement for a South Florida strip club, Vixens. You ever been to Vixens, Mike? No. Mike I haven't been to Vixens either. But this... Any of you guys know Vixens? It's a South Florida strip club. Top Ron DeSantis fundraiser, donor, and bundler Brooke Walter appears in a raunchy advertisement for South Florida's strip club Vixens and has promoted a sexy party known as the Groove Cruise. She recently attended DeSantis' emergency donor summit in Utah, and there are multiple pictures of her with the governor and his wife. She now appears to run a real estate firm. She's pictured in a number of recent Vixen Cabaret events, including a sexy Christmas video where strippers seem to be demanding the private parts of men using very graphic language for Christmas. And then dance to some very graphic sexual lyrics that I can't share. The lured DeSantis donor details were revealed this week by investigative reporter Laura Loomer. And there are pictures of DeSantis with this woman. And it certainly is something that people should be looking at. So, yeah, and they at this strip club, apparently, this campaign fundraising lady that hangs out at the strip club is married. Her husband her and her husband sat next to DeSantis at his campaign launch at the Four Seasons in Miami. They're reported to be regulars at the Vixens strip club, which advertises divorce parties. They have divorce parties at this club, and Laura Loomer has found the video and photographs of the fundraiser in the stripper ad. And then there's pictures that DeSantis has posed with her. And these photographs are much more, they're kind of like, pretty graphic. I can't show them to you on the radio. But what is Ron DeSantis doing hanging around with bundlers that are lobbyists for Bud Light, with everything that's going on with Bud Light, and a couple that hang out at a strip club all the time? What's that about? And not only hang out at the strip club, she partakes in advertisements for the strip club, in videos where she dresses like in stripper clothes. And, this is what happens when the mainstream media love you and they hate Trump. Any other Republican throughout time, this story would be the end of them. But the media are sitting on this. And I have to read about this in the National Pulse or Laura Loomer's Twitter feed. It's not on Fox. It's not in the New York Post. It's not on CNN. But he's got another campaign bundler who's a lobbyist for the pharmaceutical company that makes the puberty blockers that they give to teenagers for their sex change stuff. This guy's got more complexities and contradictions going on with his fundraisers than I've ever seen with a Republican before, and there's a media blackout on it. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. I'm Brian Craig. We'll be right back.
WWNN Pompano Beach. Broadcasting from the Rome Studio. Injured recently, call where winning is a habit. 561-570-5700. 561-570-5700. Rome's winning for you and our community. Your home for the Steve Kane Show. From the Palm Beach Patio Furniture Weather Center, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created. Here's the oldies forecast.
Good morning, everybody. On this Monday, we have a marginal risk for isolated severe storms as we hit the late afternoon and evening hours. So impact weather today. There's also a heat advisory up for the Treasure Coast until 5 o'clock tonight. I'm WPD Out 25 First Warning Meteorologist Sandra Shaw.
And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Custom blinds at low prices. Shipping blinds.com. Traffic.
Here's your True Oldies ABC News update.
ABC News Now, I'm Tom Rivers. The New York Times says the Biden administration believes Chinese hackers have uploaded malware to U.S. networks could impact both military and civilian operations.
Officials say the malicious code could disrupt power grids, communication systems, and water supplies that feed military bases around the world. But the impact could spread much farther, as that infrastructure often supplies civilian homes and businesses. A National Security Council official did not acknowledge the malware directly, but said the Biden administration is working relentlessly to defend the United States.
ABC's Rihanna now is latest defendant in the classified documents case. Mar-a-Lago head of maintenance Carlos B. Oliveira appeared in federal court Monday morning facing obstruction counts. Lincolnton, North Carolina police looking for the driver of a sport utility who appeared to deliberately hit 6 migrant workers outside the local Walmart. This is ABC News.
For the ones who knew safety isn't a catchphrase, it's a culture. The ones who help make sure everyone makes it home safe. For the safety-minded who watch everyone's backs, Granger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as safety assessments and training to keep your facility safe and your people safer. Call clickgranger.com or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Love the outdoors and the open road? Don't miss RV Out. Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Hosted by Giant Recreation World second generation owner and CEO Larry McNamara and his co-host Nick Adams. RV Out. Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. right here on the True Oldies Channel.
Yeah, I sent a text to Don. I mean, I can hear Steve, but it's just the volume's too low. All right. You there? Yeah, we're going to have to do it on the phone. I sent a text to the engineer. I could hear you. Just the volume's too low. All right. Well, you going to do it on the phone? You ready for the phone? It's going to be on the phone. You'll have to do it on the phone. Okay.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian
All right, hour number 3 has begun. Huge amounts of breaking news. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. We've got Steve on the line. Hey, Steve, you know that lake behind your house? Okay, take all the equipment in your studio there, take it and throw it in the lake. Throw it in the lake because I'm tired of every time. You there? Can you hear me? What? Huh? It's getting ridiculous. I mean, it's you know, it's like Keystone broadcasters here. I don't know. Everybody's fine. Everybody, I don't know, but I don't know, but we'll just have you on the phone again today. But let's not do any of that testing on the air anymore. All right, so I don't know. I know you've been dealing with technical difficulties, but have you been listening during all the technical problems? Okay.
As the sound permits, I'm listening.
Yeah. Okay. Well, which of the ones do you want to talk about first? I mean, you know, this thing with Obama and the chef is not idle gossip anymore. When Obama turns up bandaged, bruised, and with a black eye, Obama was in a fight with someone. I mean, well, then you weren't listening while you were doing the technical problems. Okay. Have you ever had a black eye? What gave you a black eye?
I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, not you. Yeah, I've never had a black eye. Never. I know some listeners would probably like to give me 2 of them. I've never had a black eye. I've been in accidents. I've been in fights. I've never had... Okay, so Sunday last week, Obama's chef turns up dead. All right? I can hear myself in the background, Steve. I don't know if you got me on speaker. I don't know what's going on. So Obama's chef turned up dead last Sunday. They say it was drowning. Even though there was no autopsy, they said drowning. So then on Friday, Obama shows up at the golf course. His left hand, and he's left-handed, that's his dominant hand, is bandaged. He's got 3 Band-Aids on his left hand. Now, when I saw that, I was like, you know, whatever. You know, maybe he's got some blisters from the golfing. But he also has a black eye that you can't miss in the picture. Even though he's black, you can see he's got a big time, I mean, this is like as bad as a black eye. This is the kind of black eye you get when Tyson punches you. I mean, it is a full black eye. Well, Obama was fighting with somebody. Somebody clocked him in the eye. And this is...
You're telling me, I'm just trying to get it straight on a difficult day here. You're telling me that there's a relationship between the black eye and the chef drowning.
Well, the chef, well, maybe he didn't drown, at least not by accident. Okay, the chef has been with the Obamas for a long time. A lot of people are speculating that there's more to the relationship than has been reported. And he turns up dead. They give us a cause of death before an autopsy, which you never hear that. Very rare. A cause of death before an autopsy has been done. And then the owner of the home in which he works shows up bandaged with a black eye? Come on. Come on. How did Obama get the black eye, Steve?
I have no idea.
Well?
Open to anything.
Well, maybe. Because there was somebody else paddleboarding with the guy, and they've not told us who the other person was. So maybe Obama was paddleboarding with him. Maybe he hit his head or his face on the paddleboard and gave him a black eye. Maybe he got into a fight with the guy and got a black eye. Or, no, there's something to it, Steve. Or maybe he got home and Michelle got pissed and gave him the black eye. But Steve, if someone who works at your house full time turns up dead, like in that lake where you're going to throw all the studio equipment in after we're done today, okay. If someone who worked at your house, right? If someone who worked at your house every day turned up dead in the lake, and then the next day you're bandaged with a black eye, the cops are going to start looking at you. How'd you get cut up? How'd you get the black eye? You'd become a person of interest immediately. So no, there's something to the black eye. If it wasn't for the black eye, I wouldn't even be talking about it. But the black eye, there's something to it. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. Yeah, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's IB. Good morning, Steve, old chum. Brian, when was the Hey, brother. When was the last time you saw Michelle and Barack in the same space together?
Not that long ago, now that you mention it, they were on a trip somewhere, and she was climbing up a ladder. They were on someone's boat.
Given the pieces of the puzzle that we have, what does it look like to you?
Well, hey, it looks like to me when Arnold Schwarzenegger had a kid with his maid, eventually when you're around someone every day, there becomes an attraction, or if he would have been fired a long time ago. So this guy cooks for you every day. You see them every day, and, you know, he's on that side of things. Eventually, the relationship can eventually become real, if you know what I mean. It's a certain attractiveness that one gets to eventually being around someone every day. I believe...
I'm trying to get names here.
Obama and the chef. Obama and the chef.
We're having a gay affair?
Steve, listen. Talking about the chef. I believe, like Brian, like the ID crime shows, that the point of the crime is somewhere else. The ocean or wherever he's found drowned is the second point. That's not the first point. That body has been moved.
No. Slow down, caller. Slow down, because let's go with this. First off, Steve, the last time I heard the media give a cause of death before an autopsy was when Andrew Breitbart was dead on the sidewalk, okay? So, yeah, give me a break. They said he died of a heart attack with no autopsy. Give me a break.
They'll eventually find the right coroner to sign up on the papers, and no one knows anything. This is supposed to be the most open administration, blah, 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 and all we get is denial.
That's right. And in the chef death, there were a lot of things last week. I just didn't bring them up until I saw the black eye. The black eye with the bandages. So also, they said the Obamas were not at the house when this incident happened, implying they were out of town. We find out they were at Martha's Vineyard. Another thing, they changed the details about the 911 call as well.
Steve, listen, Steve. I believe Michelle is the alpha male, Barack is the beta male. They're not exactly happy. They're still showing appearances. And even if you're cheating on her with the chef, it's still not a good thing. They're not married in a godly way. They're living heathenism type life. However, the cat by the way, Barack said it out of his own words when he made his speech. He referred to Michelle as my mouth. So people wake up. As for the cat, you need to look in small corners around the baseboard, maybe around the kitchen or what have you.
Are you talking about my cat? Yeah. Well, we'll talk about the cat in a bit, but this Obama, listen, if someone who works in your home dies mysteriously, guy's in his 40s, he's drowned and he's dead, right? They say. And then somebody in the home turns up bruised with a black eye and cut up. Anybody else would be brought into an interrogation room right now. The police would bring you in for questioning. Anyone else?
And of course, Barack was defending himself. Since he's beta, he was defending himself with his dominant hand. The guy was probably lashing out at him with something.
Yeah, and the guy is probably right-handed, which means he would have hit Obama in the right eye. Whoever punched him is right-handed because Obama's black eye is his left eye. So if you're fighting, boom, your right hand, you punch with your right hand, you hit the person in the left eye. Obama is not an athletic guy or a guy that does anything physical to get hurt like that.
Democrats, listen. Aren't you tired of your people continuously hiding everything all the time?
That's right.
Before you voted for them, we will be the transparent administration, and you look at your press secretary every bloody morning, I would like to use some other words, okay, lying in your face time and time again. That woman is a buffoon.
Who do you think gave Obama the black eye? Michelle or the chef? What do you think, caller? Michelle.
I think that's a pretty.
What do you think, caller?
I think that's a pretty good monkey wrench you threw in there. I never look at that side of it. Maybe she smacked him around.
Well, when Bill Clinton was president, he came out all bandaged up one day, and it was during the Lewinsky affair, and he had and Hillary, I can't remember if it was a lamp or an ashtray she threw at him, it came out, but she threw either a lamp or an ashtray at Bill Clinton and cut him up.
In closing, Democrats, please listen. The administration saying they will tell you the truth, will be transparent, yet all they do is hide things and deflect when they can. Okay.
Yes. All right, take care. Thanks for the call. Oh, man, if you're on hold, stand by. We'll take our break and come back with your calls at 1-888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
What are your thoughts? I'm seriously speaking. I mean, I'm not into conspiracy stuff. Like, I didn't get into that chef stuff until Obama showed up with the black eye. If he just had the bandages, I'd be like, but the black eye really has me thinking. Let me go back and look at the picture.
Restaurant, a family-owned authentic Mexican restaurant for 33 years. Come on in for a delicious taco salad, steak quesadilla, or a cold margarita. La Bamba is located at 730 US Highway 1 in North Palm Beach. Check out labamba123.com.
This is Steve Kane. I want to tell you about my favorite restaurant in all of South Florida, Wings Plus in Coral Springs. Wings just the way you like them. Plump, tender, and delicious, crispy on the outside, succulent on the inside, everything homemade, nothing comes out of a can. Dozens of specialty sauces that will make your mouth water. Wings Plus, located in Coral Springs, a mile west of University on the south side of Sample Road.
Join us for Moments of Scripture.
Yeah. It's a huge black eye. Big one. But if whoever hit him's right-handed.
Moments of Scripture every Sunday at 6 a.m.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. I'm going to ask you the most important question I'm going to ask you of the day. Do you or someone you know suffer from neuropathy? Oh, man, if you or someone you know have neuropathy, I don't have to tell you. It's living torture. It really is. It makes life, well, really unbearable. The symptoms of neuropathy are awful. Numbness, pain, burning, tingling in the hands and feet, muscle weakness, dizziness, falling down all the time, muscle twitching, the feeling of pins and needles in the hands and feet. Some have no feeling at all. Many have all of these symptoms in rotation. Some have multiple symptoms at once. And your doctors will tell you there is no treatment. But there is at Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano. Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano not only have a treatment for neuropathy, they have a treatment that works. It worked with Steve and many people in this listening audience, okay? Now, no matter where you're located, they can help you. Even if you're local and you can't make it in, Lighthouse Medical Center can still help you. They understand that if you have neuropathy, it's hard for you to get around probably, right? So if you can't make it into the office, that's okay. Still call them. Now, when you call or go in, make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio so you can take advantage of their no-charge consultation. Also, Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano has been in practice in Pompano with the same family of healthcare professionals for 71 years. It's amazing. You can find them online at lighthousemedicalcenter.com or give them a call, 754-222-6642, 754-222-6642, and say goodbye to your neuropathy. All right, I got you locked in. Let's go back to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian from Deerfield.
Hey, Deerfield.
Hey, Brian. I think we just got a case here, Brian, where these people are just so drunk on their egos and the power that they think they're above everything. Whether it's the coke in the White House and now the body in the Hamptons, these people think they literally get away with murder, and you just wonder if they're overplaying their hands now.
Well, the thing about it is, before we get into the Devon Archer, the thing with Obama and the chef, all last week everyone was doing all kinds of conspiracies. I stayed away from it, but now that we've got Obama with the black eye and the bandages on his dominant hand, there's some. Come on. And the scary thing about all this, caller, is that they're not afraid of consequences. These things are out in the open. That's what's more frightening to me than what they're actually doing.
This is mandatory. They didn't have that call on the 9/11 log or anything.
Well, because he's a special person.
Well, these special people are destroying this country, and it's just really a disgrace. I mean, how can people continue to support these people?
Because Democrats don't care. Look at the other thing that happened. So Devon Archer, who has all the goods on the Bidens, is set to testify today, and then on Saturday, they try to put him in prison. On Saturday. I mean, a police state is what we're in. Anyone else would say, you know what? Let's just wait a couple weeks to put him in prison. It's going to look bad. People will think we're witness tampering. We're trying to intimidate a witness. But no, they didn't care because they got away with having cocaine in the White House. So,
So drunk with the power and stuff, this is when the mistakes are made. And maybe they're going to make us so that they can't cover up for it.
What do you think about Obama with? What do you think about Obama with the black eye? Don't you think that should make him somebody brought? If that were you or me, don't you think they would bring us into the police station?
Well, does anybody else consider a suspect besides that? And amazing, you would think he would lay low with a black eye and stuff instead of going out in a public place.
Yes, Steve. All right, caller. Thanks for the call. The chef is black. The dead chef is black. The dead chef is black, yes.
But he's dead.
Correct.
I'm trying to put something together that...
Well, Steve, I don't know if... I can't make it any more clear than this. If someone that works in your house turns up dead, and then a couple days later you show up and cut up in bandages and a black eye, reasonable people may assume that you might have been involved in some type of physical conflict with the person that turned up dead. Okay, all right. See, we're on the same page. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Lisa from Pompano.
Hey, Lisa.
All right, so I called. Anyways, this whole thing. First of all, you're supposed to have Secret Service, right? At Martha's Vineyard once you're retired, right? So you have Secret Service.
Yeah.
The original story, when it first came out, was the chef was found in 8 feet of water, paddleboarding, and they had a photo. Now, everything should be scanned and looked at. And why is there no footage? Where was the Secret Service?
Well, keep in mind, this is the same Secret Service that couldn't determine whose cocaine it was in the White House a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, but they have different Secret Service people assigned. Like I said, my brother worked for the Secret Service. He still does work for the Secret Service.
Mm-hmm.
So he had to watch the bushes, too. So,
yeah.
There has to be footage from...
there has to be footage. Well, there has to be footage, too, outside the Situation Room where the cocaine was found, but but they couldn't figure out who put the cocaine there.
I want to know, Michael, or I'm sorry, Michelle, is she right-handed or left-handed?
I'm pretty sure she's right-handed. Michelle Obama. Yeah. Yeah. Obama's left-handed, and his hand is the one, Obama's left hand is the one that's all bandaged up and cut up. So He could have been trying to protect himself with his dominant hand. He could have. I don't see him hitting anybody. He's pretty girly, Obama. I don't see him actually doing anything physical.
Had a knife in his hand, who knows?
Yeah, you never know. All right, take care. All right, and I tell you guys, I don't buy into these conspiracies like a lot of people do, because the chef, as soon as it turned out the chef was dead, a lot of conservatives were saying, "Oh, what was going on? Was there some relationship?" I didn't do any of that until we got all this evidence out. Now, there's no question, though, Steve, that they were trying to get rid of Devon Archer before he testified today. I mean, that is just, there's no getting around that. That was hardcore.
There's people are murderers.
Maybe. I mean, well, a lot of people believe that Obama and the chef were a couple. I'm not suggesting that. Well, no, it's not. If you go through the history of Obama, it's not really a stretch. It might just be a confirmation of things. But so far as the witness in the Biden case today, there's no question they were trying to get that guy locked up in prison over the weekend so he couldn't testify today. There's just no, I mean, that is textbook witness tampering. And there's no way that the Justice Department came in and did that on a Saturday without getting the okay from the White House. So the question is, what did the president know, and when did he know it? All right, now we're coming up on our bottom of the hour break, and we'll get back to your calls after the break. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE, 1-888-465-2631. I'm not saying Obama did anything, okay, inappropriate here. I'm just saying that it is very suspicious, the black eye and the cut-up hand. That's very suspicious after something like this. Anyone else would be brought down to the police station and interrogated. Okay, now you don't have to talk. You can say, all right, get my attorney in here, talk to my lawyer. But it's going the same way as the cocaine story. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig Steve here. We'll take our break and be right back.
Making morning radio great again. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning. From the Palm Beach Patio Furniture Weather Center, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created. Here's the oldies forecast.
Good morning, everybody. On this Monday, we have a marginal risk for isolated severe storms as we hit the late afternoon and evening hours. So impact weather today. There's also a heat advisory up for the Treasure Coast until 5 o'clock tonight. I'm WPD Op 25 First Warning meteorologist Sandra Shaw.
Weather brought to you by Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Route 1 Seminole Plaza Shops, North Palm Beach. Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Voted in the best of the best patio store in Palm Beach County. PalmBeachPatioFurniture.com. Where
Okay.
luxurious outdoor spaces are created.
And now, a true oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Exit free this morning for the Palm Beach commute. 95 on the Turnpike remaining crash free, but not by moving at the speed. We're seeing delays now on the Turnpike heading northbound approaching Southern Boulevard. I-95 is pretty slow from Deerfield to Boca, with the service route remaining crash free. Discover credit cards do something pretty awesome in the first year. Double all the cash back you earn. That's right, everything you earn double. Cashback from trips, restaurants, all double. Seriously though, see terms to check it out for yourself at discover.com/cash. That's traffic.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Come out to the poker room at PBKC, open daily for cash games, daily high hands, mega bad beat jackpots, and big money tournaments like the $100,000 guaranteed Monster Multi-Flight Tournament, August 3rd through the 6th. Visit our newly expanded casino table game area with your favorites, Ultimate Texas Hold'em and 3-card poker with just a $5 minimum. Your entertainment destination. Go to pbkennelclub.com.
from Laporta Contracting, Roofing and Building Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry for 40 years. We are originally from Connecticut, where our values and work ethic is second to none. We install all kinds of roofs, from asphalt shingle, clay and concrete tile, standing metal seam, slate tile, and flat roof systems. We work with homeowners, HOAs, commercial properties, and churches. We are state of Florida licensed roofing and general contractors. At Laporta Contracting, family is what we are, and roofing and restoration is what we do. We help guide our customers to a successful outcome by constantly informing them every step of the way. At Laporta Contracting, let our family take care of your family. Call me on my cell at 954-604-4602 or visit us on our website at laportacontracting.com. The number again is 954-604-4602.
Hi, this is Gabriel with Florida Cash Home Buyers, and we pay cash for houses. If you want to sell your home fast and easy without a realtor and save thousands in commissions and closing costs, call me at 561-570-7070. You can sell us your home in as little as 3 days or on your time frame. We can even pay you a cash advance before the closing, and we guarantee to make you a fair and honest offer. Our home buying process is simple, and we can make you a cash offer over the phone.
I'm looking over the latest polls. Oh my goodness. Trump is so far ahead.
No problem. We can buy your home no matter the condition or situation. You don't need to clean or fix anything, and there's no commissions or closing costs. If you want to sell your home fast and easy, we'll buy it. Call us today for a free offer. 561-570-7070. That's 561-570-7070. 561-570-7070.
Brian Craig here with a question for seniors and those who care about them. How would you like to have instant access to a healthcare advocate at the touch of a button? Would that make life easier for you? You can with I Will Advocates. I Will Advocates will help you set up doctor's appointments, help with your pharmacy, even deal with your pharmacist to make sure that you have your prescriptions. They'll help you find a doctor.
Oh, all better.
If you've been billed properly by a doctor's office or a hospital, we can help you with that too. They'll even be your advocates when you're in the hospital to make sure you get the care you need and the care you deserve. And that's just the beginning of what they do. I Will Advocates takes care of all Steve Kane's healthcare issues too, and they can do the same for you. I Will Advocate clients are family, and they go back for their family when you need them the most. Call Debbie at I Will Advocates right now. Toll free 1-877-275-2326. 1-877-275-2326.
All right, we're coming back.
1-877-275-2326.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 46 years on the air.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian. Steve with us over the phone line today. Let's go back to our phones. Very busy phones today. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello, Janita Boyd from Clover, South Carolina.
All right, what's on your mind? Go ahead, caller.
A theory on the Obama black eye and everything. The cook has been with the family for years, like you say, and they've grown accustomed to each other and attached. How do you know that Obama didn't walk in on the cook and Michael?
Well, if you call her Michael, she wouldn't be into the cook.
Maybe,
Maybe. Well, now that you think about it, it's, I'll tell you why. I don't see, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why I don't believe that story. Obama is not a tough guy, right? He's a dorky kind of guy. He's not very athletic. He doesn't do anything physical. Barack Obama having a black eye and having a cut hand, those are defensive wounds. He's not aggressive. He wouldn't initiate. Yeah, he wouldn't. He would be the one that would be attacked. He wouldn't be the one that initiated anything. He's too wimpy.
Yeah, different ways if you walk in on a situation. Your spouse is cheating here with the cook.
Yeah.
It gets a little heated. He stir up a little gas here, huh?
I don't think so. In fact, if the way that the bandages look on his hands, to me it looks like the cuts are on the top of his fingers, like he was trying to block getting hit in the eye.
More than likely he was,
And if you, Well, I would like him to remove the bandages and find, I mean, you get in a fight with a chef. Chefs work with knives. What kind of cuts are those on his hands?
There's no telling.
Mm-hmm.
Telling. Curious to see how this transpires and unfolds.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, nothing's going to unfold. Nothing's going to unfold. This investigation will go the same way as the White House cocaine story.
You mean under the carpet?
Yeah, it's already done. It's already been settled. Same people investigating this and investigate. Hey, thanks for the call. So, now, did you catch the? All right, thank you. Did you catch the Trump rally, Steve?
Impressive as always.
Oh, it was. I know I say this after every Trump speech, but it was his best speech ever. You know, the reason his speeches, this is what I think. The reason we look at the speeches, this is the best one ever, it's because he's talking. He doesn't have a boring stump speech. He talks about what's going on in the news that week. So that, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah.
He responded to the criticism that he should be talking in a more positive sense about things he's going to do than the injustices of the past. And I think he's done that very successfully. Every time I listen to him, he keeps going back to all the things he accomplished, and he lists them and goes over them and plants them in people's memory.
Not with a black eye.
And this is going to be really, I don't know what.
Well, I'm looking at the latest polls, okay? And if you notice, the polls aren't coming out as fast as they were a while back because Trump's creaming them. The
poll you have probably reflects the numbers from after his speech got it.
No, in fact, I have not seen any polls since the speech. The most recent poll I have is from 5-6 days ago. I've not seen anything in the polls are slowing down. And in the most recent poll, which is the YouGov poll, Trump leads by 36. And over all of them. This is in the Republican fields. And overall, the Real Clear Politics has him 34 points ahead. So he's doing well. And all this talk about Ramaswamy, in the most recent poll of let me pull this one up because that's an overall poll. Hold on. The most recent nationwide poll, let me see which one this is because I saw this morning. I want to make sure I get the poll right because someone will look it up. The most recent poll that we have that's national among the Republicans is the Marquette poll. Trump is up 24 in that poll. That's nationwide. Trump's at 46. DeSantis is at 22. So Trump's 24 points ahead in that poll. Ramaswamy that they're always talking about, he's at 1. Ramaswamy. All this talk about Ramaswamy like he's a player. I mean, he's coming up behind DeSantis in some of the polls, but he's still way behind. I mean, it's not like he's competition. But no, Trump is he's so far, and that's
the poll from Saturday night.
I don't know. It's Monday. I haven't seen any. Steve, they're not doing most of the polls that they do are done by the media so that the media have something to talk about. And the polls are so against their chosen candidates and in favor of Trump, the media are not commissioning polls so much as they usually do.
They're doing pretty good with the regularity of polls.
We haven't had one in about a week.
This would be the longest break.
Yeah. So that
it encompasses the Iowa weekend and it encompasses all the latest developments with
well, this now there's going to be more and more distance between polls now. I have not seen a poll of the Republicans in Florida in like 6 weeks because the last 2 polls in Florida had Trump ahead of DeSantis by about 30 points. They've stopped polling in Florida, which is important because this is where he's supposed to be most popular, DeSantis, and he's getting creamed in Florida. No, and this rally over the weekend was packed to the rafters. I mean, they were sitting up in the rafters on this one in Pennsylvania. You know, and I was watching for hours before online. Right Side Broadcasting was there for about 5 hours before the rally, interviewing people outside, and they had an unfortunate incident that might get them into some trouble today. I can't tell you on the air what happened, but something happened on Right Side Broadcasting where I think they learned a lesson. They were interviewing people in line to go inside the Trump rally, and one person said something you cannot say, and it was pretty bad. And I hope they're okay. But anyway, the crowd outside, there were only about half the people got in, if that many. Outside, there were probably more people than were inside, right? Oh, yeah, but Steve, this is the heat wave that's going on in this country. There were people out there on a Saturday during the hottest time of the day with no hope of getting in, still getting baked in the sun. And Trump said in the rally that he's going to really fire up the rally starting in October. So the rally tour begins in October, right? So I mean, that speech that he gave on Saturday in Erie, Pennsylvania, was his most important speech in a long time, and he touched on all of the issues, including this deranged prosecutor, dirty cop that's after him, and he's not backing down. You know, they just don't understand, one, why we still turn out for him. Two, why he's going up in the polls with all these things that are going on, and No, they don't. They wouldn't keep charging him with crime, Steve. If they understood it, Steve, yesterday, Chris Christie said that by the time of the first debate, Donald Trump may be out on bail on 4 different charges, and he went through them all. If they understood that they're making a martyr out of him, and they're making him more popular than ever before with these phony charges, they would stop charging him with crimes. But they can't leave him alone.
Self-control.
Well, yeah.
Prepared for.
Yeah. Now, last week I went to see Dr. Appleton on Thursday for my shoulder pain from my laser away pain treatment. And of course, I'm pain-free, but I went in on Saturday for a follow-up visit with Dr. Appleton, and I ran into a bunch of our listeners, Steve. The lobby and the exam rooms were all filled with listeners getting treated for all kinds of different types of pain. And, that laser away pain treatment, it works, people. I think, I've lost track, but I think this is my 5th injury that I've had treated with Dr. Appleton. My arthritis, my knee, my shoulder. I had 2 injuries to my shoulder, and then there was another one I can't remember. This is, I think, my 5th time I've been injured and gone in. And you know what? Every time I've gone to see Dr. Appleton, it's worked. He's rid me of pain. It's absolutely amazing. And he can help you too. I was talking, one of our listeners, he says, Brian, I don't know. I heard you talking about it. I heard people calling in, and I thought this is too much. This can't be true. And he's pain-free. He was in there for his follow-up. He had a pinched nerve or something he was in there for. If you're suffering with pain, you don't have to. Go see Dr. Appleton. He's my chiropractor. He wants to be your chiropractic physician too. Appointments are not necessary and walk-ins are welcome. And when I went in on Thursday and on Saturday, I had no appointments. I just showed up. You can find Dr. Appleton online at appletonchiro.com or give him a call, 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on.
All right, and it's time for the first gold and precious metals report of the week. On the line from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated in Boca, we have William Youngerman. William Youngerman, good morning.
Good morning, Brian.
Great. How the metals starting the week off?
Metals week off up.
very nicely up at Friday's gain of $12.60, closing out the week at $19.59.40. Silver was up 18 cents, closing the week out at $24.01. Platinum $55. Was it 20? Then we've seen gold trade of $19 all the way up to the high of 96, which is at rate 6.6.
You know, William, we have a bad cell connection with you today. So while I've got you on the line, because you're cutting in and out there on the prices, I'm going to give out the prices if you don't mind, because you're cutting in and out. Okay, gold. I'm looking right now at gold as we speak. Gold is up $5.10 at $1965.50. Silver is up 16 cents at $24.57, and platinum is up $12 at $957. So everything's in the green as we start the week off, William Youngerman, but these prices still look like good prices to come in and buy. Absolutely. All right, well, listen, stop into William Youngerman. He opens up at 10 a.m. He's located at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca on the first floor of the Bank of America building just east of US 1 Federal Highway in Boca on the south side of Palmetto. You can find him online at williamyoungerman.com or call ahead. Again, he opens up at 10 a.m., 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. All right, William Youngerman, we'll touch base tomorrow. Okay, all right, we'll be right back.
Take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All right, we're back. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. A big news day Monday. Now, don't get excited. This Devon Archer testimony will not be on television today. So it's behind closed doors, which really ticks me off, I got to tell you, Steve. It should be on TV. Because after they tried to lock Devon Archer up over the weekend, the way they do it is they do the closed door hearings, and then at a future date they do the televised hearings. This guy's not coming back for televised hearings. This guy's gonna be locked up in prison in some supermax somewhere, and he's not coming back. This is the only time that Devon Archer is going to be testifying to Comer's committee. Only time. And after what they pulled over the weekend, for the life of me, I don't understand why Comer doesn't say, well, this is going to be televised because of these circumstances. But, Republicans, Comer's all right, but sometimes Republicans just don't stand up like they should. You're on the air, caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. Oh, no, we lost him. That's the liberal response, Steve. But this scandal over the weekend of trying to put in prison this isn't just the star witness today. Devon Archer is the top witness that we've had against the Bidens. The top. Because he was on the Burisma board with Hunter. He was in on all the meetings with Hunter. And he puts Joe Biden at the scene of the meetings that he claims he had nothing to do with through the phone calls. And Comer has said that they have matched up the phone records of Joe Biden's to Archer's statements. So this is the most important, biggest bombshell whistleblower ever against Joe Biden. And we're never going to see the testimony. We're just going to hear congressmen come out and tell us what happened, which is not this. It's just like those IRS guys, right? The IRS guy testified without cameras, and we heard about it, and it was like, okay. But it wasn't until they were there that people were like, wow, this is insane. And the chances of Archer coming back from for the televised hearings, I think, are zero. What do you think, Steve?
Hard to say, but I think that they're going to give it. Hold on, I'm choking here.
Okay, all right. Well, that's okay. Yeah. Hopefully Archer won't be choking when they put him in the lockup, like Epstein.
I think that they're going to be. It's not. We're going to miss the drama, which is, of course, frustrating. But I think whatever comes out in the meetings is going to be public. I think they're going to eventually. Our people are finally going to. Through leaks, we're going to find out exactly what occurred, and it's.
Well, Steve, I'll tell you, no one else is going to make this connection to this, okay? But did you see over the weekend Ukraine bombed Moscow with the drone?
Yes.
Okay. I don't think that's really exactly what happened. That had to be our drone, right? I think we bombed Moscow over the weekend. But by we, I mean the United States. And even if it had a Ukrainian flag on the drone, it was probably flown by American drone pilots somewhere. Okay? And I'm a little concerned because obviously the Biden regime are in a complete state of panic. They tried to put the star witness that's testifying today in prison over the weekend, right? They found a judge somewhere on Saturday, a federal judge, and went to them. And then all of a sudden Moscow's being bombed, and it's very possible that in desperation to have distractions from this testimony, that the Biden regime are escalating the war in Ukraine against Russia to try to keep things out of the headlines. And I just don't believe that Ukraine has the ability to launch a drone attack on Moscow without our help doing it. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are that there's something going on here.
Yeah.
There's no question of that. But I think it's going to come out. I don't think they can. So there's too many people involved in what's going on for the story not to leak.
But when the things leak out, there are no consequences, like the cocaine at the White House. There's no consequences for these stories.
Well, that part has been going on for a long time.
Not open. I mean, Steve, this administration are doing things in the open that normally when there's a crooked government, they do. They may do them, but they don't do them openly. You know, and listen, I've said this for a while. There has never been an election, a presidential election in time of war, if there was a war going on, where the sitting president did not win re-election. A president is...
Here, you know, it really is interesting. What news events going on in the last, I don't know, say the last week, really is totally bizarre and from out of nowhere. I'm going to, you probably wouldn't come over on your own. This wag the dog thing with the flying saucer.
Oh, please.
Not the flying saucers. You know, there's really, because it's from nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, it's like out of left field. It shows they're really dusting off the playbook. Well, what do we got here that'll distract people? Oh, why don't we pull out the old flying saucer thing? That routine always works. That's what struck me.
Yeah.
Unrelated to any of the other stuff.
And it's BS. Aliens are not visiting the Earth, and aliens have not visited. It's total BS. And why? Yeah.
The pilots that they had up there, although they weren't very good actors. I mean, I understand I make a living talking to people and figuring out the BS from the real, but I didn't believe a word of many of those pilots who testified or whatever they were.
Well, the one thing I know is that everyone has incredible cameras on their cell phones today. And if aliens were visiting the Earth, we'd have better photographs. The pilots in the cockpits of their plane could get better pictures with their iPhones than they're getting with these military cameras, and it's all grainy and everything. It's a big... At first I thought, during the summer, a lot of times the news is slow, and they look for filler. So they throw in like shark bite stories as filler in the summer, things like this. And I thought the UFO story was just summer filler, but there is no slow news period. There's nothing but huge news going on. Yeah.
It's just distraction.
Yeah.
Well, that flying saucer thing came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I wanted to watch flying saucer.
And the one guy says they found non-human remains. Well, that could be a dog. I mean, what does that mean? Non-human remains. Give me a break. But I'll tell you.
Guys who testified on the flying saucers believe.
Yeah, when I was a little kid, I used to believe in all that stuff. And then I grew up and realized I bet you don't remember this because it's been so long I barely remember it. There was a movie about a guy that got abducted by aliens called Fire in the Sky. Does anyone remember that? You ever see that movie, Mike? Fire in the Sky. It was about a guy. Yeah, it starred D.B. Sweeney played the guy, and he got abducted, and James Garner was in the movie. He was like the government investigator. It was called Fire in the Sky, about this guy that got abducted by aliens and brought back. We had that guy in the studio, Steve, many years ago. I barely remember it myself, okay? And we had him in studio with you and me. It was such BS, his whole story, you know, that he got abducted by. It was so vague and filled with generalities with the gray men and all that stuff. They all looked at, I mean, give me a break. I was kind of excited to meet the guy because they made a movie about it. So I figured he must be like the most credible, you know, UFO guy ever. And when we talked to the real abductee, he didn't even really want to talk about it because he didn't have much to say about it. He was trying to, but he would talk about the making of the movie, but not so much about the inside the alien spaceship. You know what I mean? All these blackouts and all this stuff is nonsense. But what's amazing to me about the UFO stories and the hearings is how into a lot of people are into it. Even members of Congress, they act like it's a real thing. And I don't get that.
I think it's used traditionally for the same diversionary, that's an interesting word, diversionary reasons.
Yeah.
Stretch, everybody knows they can always count on Michael Renee in the end.
Yeah.
Who, have the still.
Yeah, well, whatever. Whenever they start covering the UFO thing, I'm out of there. I mean, it's such BS. They must. Why don't they have the Bigfoot hearings next week? Yeah, give me a break. Yeah, exactly. It's all not. There's too many big stories to talk about that are developing right now, like the cocaine in the White House, the black eye on President Obama, the Biden trying to arrest the star witness against him 2 days before he's going to testify against him, Devon Archer. These are massive stories that make Watergate look like jaywalking, right? It's like Nixon made a rolling stop at a stop sign, and they had the whole country fell down over it. You've got what's going on with this guy. And the media, it's like we're begging them to cover these stories. And they just will not cover them. And, everything this story over the weekend of them trying to put the witness in prison, okay? He was convicted last year of this white-collar crime. He did some financial things with the Indians. I'm not sure of all the details. It doesn't matter. White-collar crime, he lost his appeal, and he got sentenced to a year and a day in prison. A year and a day. I mean, come on. And for them to go and try to arrest him and put him in prison on a Saturday before he testifies on Monday, the media, they're mentioning the story, but they don't seem concerned about it. They seem to buy the Justice Department, oh, it was a misunderstanding. We didn't really mean to witness tamper. I don't know how that letter got there. I don't know who went and got that judge on Saturday, And Comer said he's never heard of the Justice Department doing anything on a Saturday. Their government's closed every weekend, right? But they opened up for this one. And the media are just like, nothing to see here. Move along. Just like that cocaine story. Nothing to see. Cocaine at the White House. Obviously, it has nothing to do with the Biden. Steve, I've never seen the media so quick to cover up stories. Right? I mean, they've got so many stories that are like Pulitzer Prize winning stories, and they reject them. Story after story after story. Exactly. Well, listen, we are out of time for today. We'll be back tomorrow morning. You're listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the air since 1977, celebrating 46 years on the radio this year. My name is Brian Craig. Steve Kane, of course, has been here. And remember, if you ever miss a portion of a show or a show in its entirety each day, about an hour after we go off the air, Mike, our board op, uploads the entire show to our radio station website, TrueOldiesFLA.com. And at TrueOldiesFLA.com, not only can you listen to the entire show, but they're archived up there forever as well. So maybe you've called in and you want to hear your call or save your call, go to TrueOldiesFLA.com. You can grab your call and save it and play it for yourself, or or try to impress your friends by playing it as well. All right, I'm Brian Craig, Steve. Hopefully we'll get your thing fixed for tomorrow. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show. God bless America, and of course, God bless the greatest president ever, Donald Trump.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 Indiantown. Programming paid for by the Canales